can mention that are facing the same thing. Same old, every time. It may not likely be the same style, but the same motive, but in different ways, in different African countries. So would we ever see true democracy in this part of the world? Would we ever enjoy a style of leadership that allows for fresher and newer ideas and people actually really choosing their leaders? Would we have a populace that would understand the need to choose their leaders? A populace that would understand the power that they have in their voters' card or in the voting system for them to either remove or put in somebody that they believe shares a dream that would help develop not just the country, but individuals and indigents within the country. Would we ever see that happen? Or for how long would we continue to struggle with this cyclic system that does little or nothing for the improvement of Africa or even Nigerian democracy? I mean, as simple as it sounds, or as cliche as it sounds, we do understand that these are one of our pressing issues that we're yet to see good solutions to. So let's open the phone lines now and have your contribution on everything that we've, said thus far on the show. Let me get that particular thing that you think Africans can do or leaders can do. What can we borrow from the Western world? I mean, we'll borrow a lot of Western style and culture, but then we cannot borrow leadership qualities and the need for patriotism from whether government and people, so that we can see a fast-growing Africa with so many resources in this part of the world, but nothing to show for. 0817-0000951 or 0810-9510-951. Send in your messages to the number 0701-9339-962. Let's get to hear from you now. 95.1 FM.
Hello, Wes.
Good afternoon, Hart.
Yeah, thank you. Wes, you see, so if federal government no borrow that money, the economy no go grow. All the money what they borrow, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, this year. So those money cannot grow Nigeria economy. It's only this the one that is in Thomas' account that can grow the Nigeria economy.
The money in the dormant account, when it is there, as the word implies, dormant, what is it doing other than helping banks to grow more dividend or get turnovers for their yearly or monthly accounting? If the government wants to use that money, there's nothing wrong in it. I think where your problem, as I would always say, is that it should be with the accountability of the government.
Well, even if federal government borrow that money, it will not result any development good in this country.
Well, that's entirely your opinion. We'll see how that comes out.
And let me tell you one thing. This government, this is 7 years they occupy Aso Rock. The only thing.
Okay, you know what? Let's take 1 minute out, right? And sometimes think about how we want to respond to issues. Remember, I said, yes, we have a deepening debt crisis in the country. True? True. But then the question isn't for you to reiterate what I have said. The question is, what are the solutions and the quickest, fastest, and most efficient ways that we can generate more revenues that would help us service debt as much as grow our economy? 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Cosmo. I'm calling from Aba.
You're welcome.
Yes, I think about the issue of Martin Cooper. You know, Martin Cooper is a Nigerian. And Nigeria Constitution, you must know that so far you are a Nigerian. You have every right to live wherever you want to live.
True.
Am I communicating?
True. Go on.
Yes. So, any person who is calling for him to leave, I think the person is making a mistake. And I don't know why, whenever Northern group makes such a comment, nothing will happen.
No, you can't say nothing will happen. Did you not hear the part where the presidency had reacted to that particular ultimatum given?
Let them make some arrests now. During the time of Funande,
but they haven't pushed him out. They simply just said.
There was a time the issues the same quick notice to Igbo people in the north. I know you can remember. No arrests have been made since then. So if Nigeria is one, or we are practicing through democracy, such a thing shouldn't be happening.
An arrest will be made. If any of the persons within the group or in the state tries to push out the bishop. But then, as I said, maybe you know, this kind of opinion is still somewhat inciting on its own. So I won't even let you do all that anyway. Send in your messages, WhatsApp messages, SMS to the number 0701 9339 962. 0701 9339 962. Calls to the number 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. 95.1 FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm Chris from Port Harcourt.
Welcome, Chris.
Yeah, first of all, I want to find out, this cooker, where is it from to begin with? Is he a Nigerian? Hello?
Please go on.
I just want to know so that we can then know how to analyze these both things. Because when they say you should leave, to where? Except if it is a foreigner, then we'll say, I don't know.
Well, the presidency had declared that constitutionally they don't have a right to ask him to leave the state because every Nigerian has the right to live freely wherever they choose in any part of the country. Does that answer your question?
Yes, but what I want to say that I want to find out, even if they ask him to leave, to where? That is my question. Is this country owned by one man?
I just told you that they had debunked such ultimatum. So it then means that people understand and the government understand that the group does not have the right to do so.
Which group is this to begin with? And where are they from?
All right. I don't know how we want to continue in this circle, right? Now, let me make something clear. I do understand that a lot of us are, pained by the ultimatum given by the group, but then that does not mean that we should just come here and just, go in circles and circles. 95.1 FM.
All right.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Gabe.
Gift for you,
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank God for federal government for once. If you have been following the federal government, this will be one of the quickest response from them concerning Bishop Matikoka. I'm telling you, this will be one of the quickest response.
Well, I think it should be quick because, first of all, if you allow for such reaction to continue, they might actually swing into action.
This is what I just noticed and observed, and I welcome this one. If not, before this time, somebody will be preaching in the north. I think one reduced church of God, Lady Bridget by name, one other women, we can mention that is names of people, deeper life, just like that. They will ask you, why are you using? In fact, Christians here in the south will be complaining, even insulting that person that was doing evangelism. Why must you even go there to disturb them?
But you understand that issues of religion are very, very, I would use the word tender. I mean, it gets some persons easily incited, it gets some persons easily offended. So I think since we understand that religion is not a unifying factor, especially in this part of the world, then we should consider trying to be, very, very careful with how we go about practicing our religion and how we go about making certain statements that might actually affect the next person.
Well, the truth of the matter, in Nigeria, this is a secular state. You understand the point? So you have the right.
Nigeria is a secular state, but has a huge population or majority of persons who belong to one religious faith or another, isn't it?
Well, I agree with you. If we tolerate this, it will continue. Why must somebody, you are doing your own legitimate job by preaching the gospel of Christ, somebody will come and behead you, and no police arrest, no nothing. If you listen to Bishop Matikuka, frankly speaking, even in other countries, not just Nigeria, I'm not saying all Muslims. After all, I have a lot of friends, Muslim friends from primary to secondary like that. I have a lot of them, Yoruba, Hausa, in River State bad days. But I am telling you, if you even do cartoon of that their God, I don't want to mention name, but once you just do a cartoon, they will come after you. But insult Christ, insult bishop, insult reverend, nobody will touch you. So I don't know why they are quick to this type of way of reacting.
As I said, religion for some persons is tender and a sensitive issue. So if they are reacting, it's because of how sensitive and tender it is to them. It's the same.
You don't need to look at when we can use the word River State is a Christian state. Their leader in River State there came out, even when nobody demolished any mosque. Look at what played out in this country. But if you see, just turn the table to the other side. No noise, no complaint. But now you're telling that man to leave that place because of what? And even the federal government are condemned. They put even a clause that he has offended a lot of Nigerians. Offended who? Insulted who?
He has offended people who had picked up offense from what he said gift. And that is valid as well. Okay, we lost that call. Keep your calls coming in. I'm sorry about that. 0817-0000951 or 0810-9510951. Text messages, WhatsApp messages to the number 0701-9339-962. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Obina.
Welcome, Obina.
I'm elected at the side of federal government. Martin Uga is not ordinary pastor. It's a bishop. What I'm asking about what it means to be a bishop.
He's a bishop doesn't exalt him to a point where his statements may not likely hurt some persons. Okay, Obina, your line is breaking. I can barely make out your argument, so do well to call me back, okay? 95.1 FM.
Hello, Lady West.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Very well. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Messenji, calling you from Rumola. And in the issue of Reverend Kuka, of course, he's just trying to speak the truth. You know, doesn't mean that we don't have freedom of speech in this country.
Now, again, let's examine something. We have freedom of speech, right? Isn't it? That's what you're trying to establish.
Right.
Now, when you say something, understanding that your statement might directly incite or anger some persons, do you still go ahead to say that? Or you find other ways that you can pass your message, but in a less agitating?
Lady West, I know you're a very nice person and you're trying to do your job. But don't forget, Reverend Kuka is a bishop for God's sake. He's working for God. And since he's a bishop, he's supposed to speak as one. If just an ordinary person come and just speak, that you can just go for him or caution him. This is a man of God. Not because of the condition in Nigeria, we have a lot of man of God.
Well, Bishop Kuka did not make his statement in an all-Christian country. He made that comment in a mixed religious country. So people within the next religion who felt or found it offensive reacted. And that's pretty much what played out.
They should take it easy with him. He's a man of God.
All right, then.
So God will not get angry for them.
Okay. 95.1 FM.
Okay, what? Obina, call back, eh?
All right, Obina, please go on.
You know why I'm having issue now? Federal government, instead of them to quench the tension, they started bringing they have offended people. That is what I don't like. Personally, I remember when Malasia come up and said that some people are sponsoring Boko Haram. Instead of them to go and investigate, they start going after the person. What is this issue of going after the people that make the comment that will save you people, claiming that we want to save Nigeria? If somebody is telling you what you do to save Nigeria, you want to bring the person down.
Wait. Let me understand something. Malafia made a statement, right? He was invited by the DSS, isn't it? His statement had incited or caused some sort of, conspiracies and statements coming left, right, and center, isn't it? And then invited by the DSS. Did we get reactions or did we get reports much later that he proved his case or proved his statement facts?
About this statement, Malatia and Kuka, all of them are from the north. There is somebody from here.
But as I said, you make your statement and then you don't have facts to back it up, such as what happened previously with the former, and then you're making another statement with the bishop this time around, and then it is inciting and causing some sort of reaction coming from people from the other side of the divide. Don't you think that they have a right to react the way they had done? Imagine someone has, hold on, imagine the statement was directed at Christendom.
Let me tell you something, all of us are here in this country. A lot of things going wrong. I want to advise Nigeria as a country and the Muslim that is threatening Kuka. They should shift their swords and call their boys in order. These man-made bandits and man-made killer men and Boko Haram, they should call them in order and they stop killing people in Southern Kaduna and other Christian areas. That's the truth.
And there's nothing wrong with saying that. I mean, you're concerned about national development and peace, isn't it?
Peaceful and they save themselves if they claim they love the country connected, because the way they're doing all these northern youths, northern Muslim boys, they have failed woefully because all of these bandits are Islamic group. I'm telling you, all these people are fighting jihadists. See Mozambique, they come out and say jihadist forces attack, but here they will try and protect Islam. They will not mention jihadists. We know all these things.
All right, Obina. All right.
Thank you, my brother and sister.
95.1 FM.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Elder.
You're welcome, Elder.
You see, I want you to take time to echo what Reverend Kuka has said. There is no, I really don't even understand why people are just picking hole on that. And if I may ask, are we to fight for God? I really don't understand the kind of religion we are. Particularly, sorry to say this, the other people are practicing. It beat my imagination. There was a day I was going to church. There was an issue that came up in Lagos. One of the brothers was at for the fight and go. I think the conductor picked the Bible of one of the listen and threw it on the ground out of anger. The man said, no problem. Do everything. But can you try it to the other religion? That thing will spark off listen. So what I'm trying to say that nobody should attend that is maybe, for example, now, if we must say the truth, time with that number, Christianity abuse, even by some people that are also claim they are Christians. Nobody wrote them. Some people abuse Christ, the Savior of the world. People call him a manner of name. Nobody does, because he is going to judge. He will fight for himself. So when I look at maybe somebody says something about against Islam, say the people, what are you writing up for?
Okay, wait, let me repeat that question. Let me repeat that question again to you. I understand that, yes, anybody has, some persons have made statements once in a while that had, that should at least cause reaction from Christians, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
And then we have that understanding, again, that religion is a very sensitive matter for some, isn't it?
Why is it that religion is a sensitive matter only to a particular religion?
It's not even particular to their religion. If not, we wouldn't have Christians who are clamoring or crying for Islamization because of certain things that go on in the country. It means that both religious side or divide are very sensitive to whatever they serve, isn't it? No, that's what we're saying now. We're trying to call a spade a spade.
In my age, I have neither have I had in any country where Christians resort that somebody abuse Christianity, somebody they only leave everything for God.
If Christians do not rise up and say somebody had said something bad about Christianity, then Muslims who feel that they should defend their religion have done so as well.
It then means that we're not thinking that they are serving a dead God, they are fighting for their God.
Okay, no, that's not even the situation here. I don't know why some of you have just decided to be, I don't know, somewhat one-sided about the whole thing, because honestly, was having a okay. No. Let me not even take you up on what you had said. You're talking about serving a dead God. Then how come the clamor has been that they're trying to Islamize Nigeria? Apparently, our God should be able to, stop the Islamization of Nigeria, isn't it? So let's try sometimes to also consider other people's religion. When it concerns us, we're very sensitive. When it doesn't, we're not sensitive. We just think it should go like that. 95.1 FM.
Hello, Lady Ware.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sam.
Yeah, blessed day to you, Lady Ware.
And you too.
Yeah, thank you. Lady Ware, you see, in as much as I condemn the statement of Kuka 100%, the truth still remains that these our other brothers from the other religion should learn to be tolerant when it comes to religious matter.
But the thing is, are we going to ever achieve religious tolerance? It's another thing.
That is the thing. They should not be taking things too extreme. In the sense that some time ago, Erofai came out to say Mary is the girlfriend of Jesus Christ. But nobody said anything. Nobody troubled anybody. Earth did not open. But just imagine these people, when you don't say a little thing concerning one man in their religion, they will begin to do all things, like to burn down things. It is so good. Why will they be always causing tension in the land concerning religion? Are they the most holier people in the land? Or is it that their own religion, they are the one who are the God who kind of favorites whatsoever? So they should learn to be tolerant and understand that if sincerely what they are doing is serving God, that we all claim we are serving, definitely let the rest for God to handle, rather than to begin to take things to extreme.
All right, then.
You see, and let our religious leaders to mind their way, because the way they come out to speak on issues sometimes is not proper. Like looking at the statement of Kuka, it's not proper. So let them learn. And you see other religious men, they keep saying things and behaving in an arrogant way. Moses did not act in that way with Pharaoh. He only went and passed the message God sent him. But today, if some of these our religious leaders, God will not even send them. They will come out and begin to speak arrogant.
Mr. Sam, you wouldn't know if God sent them or not, but it's fine. I've gotten your point. Thank you for your contribution. All right, let's move on to the next person, and then we'll quickly read some messages. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, hi, well.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Mufasa on the line.
You're welcome.
Well, like you rightly said, this is a very sensitive matter. That is why we should be very careful in our utterances, okay? Mm-hmm. And I want to believe that it is not true that we have people that are intolerant when it comes to religious affairs only in the Islamic faith. Also, we have people who could be very, very hostile in Christianity. Even if you speak ill of their so-called general overseers and the rest, you saw the attack that the freeze had. Even a popular man of God in Port Harcourt threatening him and all of it. So what I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't, begin to categorize one religion as if it is the only religion that has people who are intolerant to certain statements when it comes to when you make statements that they don't like about their religion. And what the bottom line is this, like you rightly stated, this is a very sensitive matter. When we are making statements, we should be aware of the peculiarity of our terrain.
True.
I'm not saying that, it is proper for anybody to begin to act hostile. Whatever religion you are, if somebody may say that you don't like, but we shouldn't, narrow it to one side alone. We have people who are hostile in both sides of the divide, and to me, it is improper.
All right,
and those groups, especially the group that are giving Coca ultimatum to leave or apologize, they are not doing the right thing, and this government are doing it necessary to caution them. I think let us just wait and see what will follow this, statement that was credited to the governor of the center.
All right, then. Thank you very much for your contribution. 95.1 FM. Good afternoon.
Yes, Miss Wells, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Anthony calling from Amok.
Welcome, Anthony.
Happy New Year to you.
Oh, Happy New Year.
You see, in as much as I respect the views of everybody, and I don't want people to insult other people's religion, I think most of the times when you speak the truth about what is happening in the Muslim world or in the North, they tend to disagree and they tend to be, I don't want to use the word violent,
but you know, truth is relative. So what is truth to you may be false or lies to some other person. So you have to be careful how you position your truth.
Truth is constant.
That's where I would disagree with you. Truth is relative. There are things you do that you think is the truth or that you think is good, and then somebody else does something contrary because they think that that's the truth of what they believe and what is good. So yeah, it is relative.
Well, you say relative, but I want to believe that truth is still constant because, see, why I'm saying this is this, right? For a very long time, when you tell the people in the North that this is the position of things, they always disagree. So you know that this is the way to go. They will come and tell you a different thing. And
you don't think that when they tell people within the South or even in the East or West about things that they do wrongly, that they too do not pick offense?
No. When issues occur in the South, people then, we think in the South, we tend to go against each other. Like,
just as much as they also have people within the South who would also agree to something that they feel is right as well or wrong. So we have the same people on both divides. There are people who do not find offense. There are people who practice that religion and also do not take offense in what he has said.
When Sanusi came up with the issue of Amajiri and the high level of poverty and the high level, the rate at which the North is impeding the progress of the country and the South, a lot of them said that is why they removed Sanusi from that energy position. Even now, when some persons say that they say, okay, we should look at restoration, they against it. Me, I'm thinking that they are too static in their thinking. We should look to a progressive level so that we see things in the other way. They should not just
all right, Anthony.
This is the way it should be.
All right, thank you.
They should change their level of thinking so that we move forward. That is just my contribution.
Just as much as we should as well, because, I mean, we cannot claim to be this aware and not also understand the sensitivity of these things. I mean, it's the same thing. It's a 0-0 for both sides. I'll just quickly read this message. This one says, greeting Wells. If the Christians are not inflammable, why does the issue of Islamization come up? People should stop this hypocrisy, and that's coming from Emi Fayaga. And that's what we're saying. I mean, both sides of the divide have their sensitivity, and, you know, they have how they attach themselves or attack issues of religious relevance in the country. So we can't say that it's a one-side issue and the other side is, is innocent of whatever charge is on this particular matter. I just think we should understand the need to grow in tolerance, especially religious tolerance. Because the more we understand that religion is supposed to, probably galvanize and get us joined together or unify us, the better for us. Honestly, we cannot be a country of, too many religious people who do not understand the need to live in peace, harmony, and patience with each other. Just stay tuned as we go for the news update. We will be back immediately after that with today's hustle, the part 2.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson. The Northern Elders Forum, NERF, has expressed concern that there may be plans to cause religious unrest in the country as controversy rages on over the quit notice issued on the Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Koka, by a Muslim group. Spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, Hakim Baba Ahmed, in his reaction said there should be no room for religious intolerance in the country. Baba Ahmed said Nigerians should be concerned about their welfare rather than indulge in avoidable actions that are capable of distracting them from the real issues.
And we made a comment that these attempts to pitch us against each other, Muslims and the Christians, are diversionary. They are additions to the many problems that we live under, and that we have no reason to fight each other. We lent our voice as responsible elders to what the government is already alerting Nigerians on, that there are threats to cause mayhem and breakdown of law and order in the country, from many parts of the country, in the north and from the east and other parts of the country. And through the engineering, religious disharmony. And we said, don't fall into that trap. We have enough problems as Nigerians, Muslims and Christians. There's nothing on the ground that threatens Muslims or Christians. We do not believe these two religions are at war. We do not believe that we should go to war. We don't believe that there is a reason why a Muslim and a Christian should.
The presidency also faulted the Muslim Solidarity Forum over the threat to Kuka, declaring that Bishop Kuka must be allowed to practice his faith and politics, describing the stance by the Muslim Solidarity Forum as wrong and not in the line of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Department of State Service had issued an alert about plans by some persons to incite religious crisis in the country. Rivers State Police Command have arraigned the two suspects paraded in connection with the attempted kidnap of a Port Harcourt-based lawyer, Tamuno Ibiki Beresima. Recall that God's Power Saturday and David Simon were handed over to Ozolba Police Station after they attempted to kidnap the lawyer at his residence. The two suspects are facing a 7-count charge, including attempted kidnap and armed robbery, and 6 others. Chief Magistrate Beauty Okere, who, after listening to the prosecution team and the defendants, declined to entertain the matter. Chief Magistrate Okere also directed that the case file be transferred to the Department of Public Prosecution, and thereafter informing the parties that the court lacks jurisdiction, just as she adjourned the matter to the 24th of February, pending the outcome of the DPP legal advice. In the meantime, 4 persons who were robbed earlier before the two suspects attempted to kidnap the lawyer spoke with our correspondent shortly after the court proceedings.
Suddenly I saw a guy just enter first. I want to do POS 10,000. How much? I said 200 naira. Him and the other black one inside the car blocked me with AK-47 gun and told me to go back inside. They lie I am my customer and they asked me for the money. I just pointed the bag where the money is for them. The guy went there, collected the bag, the POS money and my phone.
Before I knew, he raised up the gun. As he raised up the gun, everybody around the shop now ran away. He now said, I'm going to kill all of you here. Just give me the money. I packed all the money. I gave it to him.
Yes, at the NNPC filling station, MT Road. They drove in and they stopped at my pump. So after putting the 3,000 naira for, I still asked him again for the money. That was how he brought that gun and pointed at me.
He said I should give him the money. So unknowing to me that it's an armed robber. So I was like delaying. I heard someone put it on her body. That's when he cracked the gun. When I heard the sound of the gun, that's when I raised my hand. He dragged the money from me.
This report says 3 gun trucks belonging to Boko Haram terrorists have been demobilized by airstrike conducted by the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole at Mainok in Borno State. Several of the insurgents were also killed in the air operation. This is contained in a statement by the coordinator, Defense Media Operations, Major General John Nneche. Nneche said the attack followed intelligence report on the movement of the insurgents, adding that the armed forces of Nigeria will not relent until all enemies of the nation are neutralized and normalcy is restored to all troubled zones of the country. On the foreign scene, Ugandans have started voting in a tense election under heavy security and an internet blackout as veteran leader Yoweri Museveni pursues a 6th term against the former pop star who is half his age. The internet went down on the eve of the election, with some parts of the country reporting complete disruptions or significant slowdowns after one of the most violent campaigns in years. Museveni is seeking a 6th term in office, having ruled for almost 4 decades since 1986 against singer-turned-up MP Bobby Wine, who is 38 years old, and whose popularity among a youthful population has rattled the former rebel leader. In the Kambokia slum, where wine grew up and is hugely popular, voters streamed to a polling station as police tried to enforce social distancing after weeks of surging coronavirus cases in the East African nation. Museveni has ruled Uganda without pause since seizing control in 1986 when he helped to end years of tyranny under Idi Amin. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget to take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap or running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Once again, good afternoon. Do stay tuned as today's hustle continues shortly.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
I don't know what put that. Come on, put that down now. I go match on that. Oh yeah, give me that thing. Come on, give me the phone. Give me that thing. Oh yeah, shoot that police.
Insecurity has become a common factor in our general language within the Nigerian space, no doubt. Not only has it become a threat, it has begun taking diverse dimension we cannot ignore. A solution we seek. A desire to stop the trend is imminent.
Wait up, 2 seconds.
God, hey, Jesus. Straight bullet, though, what kind of country is this? Hey boy, I just said to go and buy something, what kind of thing is straight bullet from where? I'm finished though.
Directly or indirectly, we all have lost people, friends, family, or acquaintances as a result of insecurity. But is security only the job of the government? No, security is not one man's job alone. Every individual in the society has a role to play in order to achieve a secure society. We urge citizens and indigents to adhere and respect the laws of the state, report irregular activities to the authorities, and we implore security agencies to carry out their duties as stipulated by the Constitution and not infringe on the rights of citizens. If we work together, we can build the Nigeria of our dreams. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM.
To all those who think COVID-19 is a joke, I have a message for you. Remember, you have one life, families to care for, people who look up to you and take your word for it. You can't afford to let them down.
The irresponsibility of a few could lead to the death of many. Take responsibility, don't misinform people, and follow the guidelines. Stay safe and stay connected to Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
This president's failed.
It's about the future of this country.
We're going to take it back. We're going to take it back.
You asked us to vote you into that position so you can bring about that
solution.
So when you vote me, then you sleep.
Let me see if I can take another phone call. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
What makes a policeman to be able to feed is the gun he is holding. They use their gun to extort money from people.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
No longer news that we are truly the voice of the people.
Am I not a slave in Nigeria?
I refuse if you are.
You're a slave. Let's not do that now. So the Nigerian Constitution.
You spot the difference now?
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry out your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double efforts. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM. All right, one more time. You are welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's Hustle, the second half of the show. Well, there's something currently trending, and it has to do with Uganda. Yes, and that's what we want to focus on the second half of the show. I was thinking that it would be a good platform for us to examine, talk about that election or the ongoing elections, talk about all of the drama that had ensued because of this particular elections, and then we link it down to Africa, and not just, we link it down to Nigeria as a country. We may not have had, similar situations, same way, the same tactic and all of that, but then we cannot say that we've not closely shared the same experiences that a host of other African countries share when it comes to democracy, politicking, and leadership. Now, Ugandans have already started voting in a tense election under heavy security and internet blackout as veteran leader Yoweri Museveni pursues a sixth term against the former pop star who is half his age. Now, I'll tell you when Museveni had, gotten into power. 1986. This is 2021. 1986. And then time and time, we ask ourselves the question, why do we have leaders who find it hard to exit the corridors of power whenever, the people are tired or whenever they've done their own beat? First of all, we have to give credence to the fact that, at some point in his life, he had, tried to restore some sort of normalcy to the East African nation, especially when he was part of the people who had ousted out Idi Amin after years of tyranny, right, for that particular country. But then again, why try to be like it? That means that there's something that happens when they taste power. It means that there's something that, I don't want to use the word overwhelm, because overwhelm should be used in a good way. But why do we have such recurrent issues in Africa? You look at the situation in Uganda and you compare it to what happens in other African countries, Ethiopia, Rwanda, for instance. You take good examples of all these other African countries, and then you see the similarities, the closely related issues of sit-tight syndrome, government not wanting to relinquish power or allow for fresh persons to come in and, take over affairs in the corridor of power in the states, country as a whole, or even local government. In Nigeria, as I said, we're going to relate this to us here in this part of the world. In Nigeria, as I said earlier, there are people who move from being local government chairmen to governors, from governors to senators, from senators to presidents, and some of them still remain in the Senate. Like I saw a list of certain senators who have been there for more than 10, 15 years, and then you wonder why.
Really?
True. And then you wonder why, how. I mean, they get re-elected, and then you see that they do little or nothing. They refuse to leave power. Maybe not completely refuse to leave power, because sometimes the elections prove that they've won. But then again, do they reflect the people's choice?
Well, I mean, it's a normal thing for people to enjoy their comfort zone, especially when it pays them really well. But in Africa, it seems to be a different case. I might even exempt those who are sitting in the Senate and all that, because I think where they copy from, it's permitted. Like in the United States, we have people who have stayed there for 40 years, 30 years, 25 years, and they keep coming back again when it comes to, the house and all that. But here in Nigeria, most times, and not in Africa too, generally, we have sit-tight leaders, and I try to just exempt that the Senate, but it's a normal thing. You see, we see recycling. People leave presidency.
It's not a normal thing. It's a system that we've now welcomed or adjusted to.
Yes, exactly, and made our own. So it's not a normal thing, like you said. I mean, in saner climes, they even avoid things like that and make sure that it never happens, because leadership is a thing that most times is not a thing of one mind. That's one person's mind to do for a long time. For Museveni, one of those lions of Africa and African soldiers, back in the day. But ever since 1986, when he came in, I'm not sure anybody was expecting him to stay this long. But I can say the same of Robert Mugabe before he left. When they won independence, nobody expected him to also stay that long. You can go on and on and on and give countless examples. Laurent Gbagbo and the others.
The sad thing about leaders who have stayed longer than expected, or maybe constitutionally permitted, the sad thing about it is that there is nothing new or fresh that they bring into the system. You don't see them working towards getting... Uganda, for instance, isn't part of the countries in Africa that you would say that is, on the right path to growth and development in terms of the economy, or even in any sphere at all. And then you wonder, okay, what exactly have you been doing in power? Because the whole idea behind sitting tight and understanding that you have to be there, the leader, is that you feel that there's something that has to be done and only you can do it. But then you see them stay there, and in the end of the day, they do little or nothing. So the people now get tired of the same old face, the same old idea that yields little or nothing.
Well, my lady, I must actually put it out that politics is a popularity contest. Yes. But for you to get popular, you need to sell something. Your personality, your ideas, and your belief system. And here in Africa, it's just unfortunate that the people have not demanded exactly those things like we see in other climes. Now here, what now determines if you can stay is how much power you wield. People are so loyal to some figures that you just need to win those figures and you've won those people. It's not supposed to be so. Yes, you can give me an example of men who are popular in their regions, including, like here in Rivers State, we have some people who are popular in some path, based on what they've done, but it must be based on what they've done, maybe. But if you pay and make these people see you as the person, you end up winning the election even without getting to the grassroots, and that's a big problem, a very, very big problem. I said this, so I've always established it, that the politics of a particular country is a reflection of the people. It's what the people have to offer that determines how their leadership tussle goes. For example, Rivers State. Go to any state in Nigeria. Who you see sitting there is a reflection of the people. I know you might tell me that, we have some places where elections were rigged and all that. But if the people don't want you, if generally, let's say 30%, or you don't have up to 70% or 60%, and maybe you just have 20% of the population, there would be a clear revolt.
See, in this part of the world, people are coerced into living with the system created by their leaders. And now that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're coerced into doing something, it means somebody is proving to you that they have higher authority over what you can do and how you can do it. So if they are not quickly reacting or revolting or instituting that change from themselves to the leadership, it then means that there is something, a shackling bond that would not allow them do so. And that is the case here in Africa.
No, well, I mean, I agree with a lot of that, But take, for example, in a liberal country, well, if you can run for president, and it's not because you're not powerful or something. If you can crusade properly, you can convince the people that you're the right person. Now, we saw our elections here in 2015. We saw elections in, prior to that, earlier, go back to the early days, 99 down to 2003, go on and on and on and on. We've seen our elections countless times. We've seen also elections in other countries like the United States, like I would always mention, because I see them as a paradigm. Yes, they're having their issues now, but if you go back in time, up until this point, they have something working for them that other countries want to. That's a liberal country. Now, Les Brown was a senator for some time, and if you have an idea who Les Brown was, or who he was an on-air personality, a presenter on radio, and does one or two talks around the place. Not really someone who is predominantly a popular figure or politician. He decided to run for election against a popular candidate, and at the end of the way, very long story, of how he convinced people to vote for him, even carrying his mother to talk to people on air. When he came for his show, he would just bring his mother and say, okay. Then the mother would say, oh, that's my son. He has been humble. I trained him very well. When he makes mistake, I'll slap him and bring him to push him back into line. He won the elections. Now, why did I bring that example? He won against a popular figure. Is our own system like that, where you can crusade to the people and you would win elections? No, two things. We have powerful men who, number one, can rig elections. Number two, can convince the people as to what you're saying is not even important. Whatever the man wants to say, don't worry. As long as I can give you Gary, I can give you a plate of rice.
As I said,
join my camp.
This is as a result of
blindness to reason.
This is as a result again of the coercion of the mentality that they now have because of how suppressing the higher echelon of leadership is within this part of the world. Now, ordinarily, you would find that anybody can be easily swayed, especially when the person has little or nothing and is receiving something from someone. I mean, that's what else would you think about at that point? Political point. Particular point.
So you agree with what I'm saying?
I do.
The leadership
I do
is a reflection of the people.
I do agree with what you are saying.
States,
but then the people do not have the chance to unshackle themselves most of the time, because the person who is at the top of the chain would not allow that to happen. Imagine in a situation where economy is right and every other sector is working and people are, living not just an average life, but a comfortable life in this part of the world, both urban and rural area. Do you think that the government would be able to come in and give you whatever it is they would give to you and sway you easily to vote?
So we agree on that now. The fact that the system encourages what goes on. And the system is what? The people.
Now,
I know that people on top who sometimes, even when you, in some parts, when you cast your votes, some of them get counted, some don't even get counted. And some people already have, some powerful men, like I said, have already decided who will take this place and who will take that. They've shared it. But when it comes to voting, which, like I told you, like the example you posited, people are coerced as a result of their situation. It's still people to probably go with this man because he can give them 1,000 naira or 5,000 naira. So
in a country where the people decide, whether it's the environment that made them decide, their pockets that made them decide, the living lifestyle and whatever that made them decide. But in a country where people decide that, no, I want to hear what you have to say before I vote for you. Why is it that someone who is from another party can win an election in the state? Now, to put this out there, I always give example with them because it's the biggest most people can relate with, rather than going to the Reform Party and whatever you have in the United Kingdom. Now, if you're a Democrat, over time, this family would be Democrats. We have Republicans. Very few people are in the middle. So how is it that Mr. B still wins election when he's not in the party with the... It's just like being a fan of an entertainment personality and everything from whiskey, do you like it or something like that. How is it at the end of the day, another person still wins the elections? They listen to reason. And those who are in this party can easily sway. The fact that I am a blue person doesn't mean I must actually go for whoever they are bringing. If I find reason with this particular person, I could switch. That's why power changed hands from the Obama's party Democrats down to Republicans under Donald Trump. And now it's also reversing. Not because we don't have traditional Republicans who, in quote, might even be more than the Democrats. So I think, yes, we know we can go in now and maybe do mind mapping and point all the issues that could be making these people or that could be pushing us as a country, narrowing it down to Nigeria or even as a state, into a box. We can pick out all those issues, but the fact still remains that we are in that box. The question is, why are we there now? That's a different
issue that
question.
Constitutes it now.
But we are actually there, and yes, we have people who rig elections, but we as a people, like you said, are coerced. Whether it's coerced, we are being pushed. We sell our conscience or we sell our minds, for 1,000 naira or for 500 naira or for a cup of rice or for some plates of it, to actually vote for a particular person without actually listening to the parties. What do you have to say, Mr. A? Tell me what you want to do. Convince me. How do you win debates? You convince your judges. Convince me that I should vote for you, that that my vote should be given to you.
That's on the part of the
Instead
people.
Instead of just buying my conscience with rice.
That's on the part of the people. Now, what about the leaders? The leaders that would not allow for the people to exercise that much right, especially when it comes to selecting. I mean, you understand that. I mean, if the leaders allowed for a change, we probably would not be seeing a recycle of one person, appointing or naming somebody who he thinks should succeed him in the end of the day. That's pretty much what plays out, especially in this part of the world. Even the governor was talking about having people not come to meet him if he or she is your boy or whatever, how he said it. But bottom line is he's saying, do not recommend someone to me. Let's see what the person has been able to do. It then means that we live in a terrain or in a climate that allows for leaders to at least monopolize the choice of people that come into power. And that's where the problem is as well. Now, take for instance what's going on here in Uganda. You understand that even in areas where the opposition, being Bobby Wine, has popularity more than the sitting government, you understand that there were rules and certain statements released by the sitting government to push or even disperse persons who had come out to campaign together with opposition. It then means that the leadership deliberately makes sure that there is no change in mentality or change in the political terrain.
Okay, for sure. What the power brokers, especially the selfish ones, what they want is to probably continue in the coffers of power, to continue enjoying that maximum they get, the attention, the money, the corrupt activities they perpetrate. And like I would always say, we came from a predominantly monarchical system. Yes, we have some part of the world where the oldest man leads the village, but it will still be the oldest man until he dies. So democracy was not really something that was really part of us. And I think somehow our people have failed. That's the people are still the ones we elect as leaders. They failed to actually give it a chance. The ones who have gotten there, I must say, and is still a reflection of the people down here. So once they get there, they try to actually maintain. And if they can keep you, they can keep you blind. The main thing is to win elections. That's what politicians think about.
So maintaining true democracy, or even getting true democracy, might be a long-term pursuit for some persons, or for us here in this part of the world.
Especially the average African politician. He's always thinking about the next election. Meanwhile, in civilized climes, ordinarily, yes, the president will still have an eye, or the governor will still have the next. But it's the party whose job, if they do their convention and all that, it is for preparations for how they will hold power and take the country to a better place through their platform. But ordinarily, it should not be a thing of once you win the election, all attention switch to the next election. That's not good. It's not good for the people. It's not good for the leadership. It should be something of the party deciding, okay, we'll focus. Let's say PDP, APC are the rulers now. When you go to the federal side of things. In Rivers State is PDP. I suppose both those who lost the election, those who won the election, are thinking, okay, how do we get better in the next election? That's the party. But the people who are now flag bearers, focus on your flag, on your flagship. So I think our politicians, every one of them, or maybe not all of them, let me not generalize, it's only few of them who are interested in having a truly democratic system. Yes, democracy is part of it, but is it their priority? Now, a man's priority will determine where he actually pulls his attention to. Now, their priority is to win the election. Their priority might not even be to maintain your democracy, to win the election. And in this part of the world, once it's to win the election, however we win the election, we win the election. If we need to give some people some bags, or if we need to do some things to get through, it's just to win the election. And that's why you see, they meet you and tell you, wealth, how do we get your people? They're not talking to you, oh, how can we convince you? No, how do we get you to give us your people? Because there are people who are already loyal to you, and it trickles down. Now, we have leaders up to wards in Nigeria in terms of the party system. Now, there are people who are even loyal, and somehow I feel most times we come here, I listen to the programs, we know today's, we are trying to talk about the leaders, but the people.
No, we understand that the people are very vital for this change. But then when the people have little or nothing that would aid for that change,
to happen,
it's the problem. Because as you mentioned, we can talk about so many reasons why the people are trapped in this box.
Yeah.
And being trapped in the box alone is the problem. Because whenever the person who are trapped you opens the box and just feeds you with whatever, you just have no other choice but to take what is there, because that's all the options left to you at that point in time.
But
so
some do have options anyway.
No, we do have options, true. But then how many of us are ready to, sacrifice or convince the next person who is going through a harder time that we are, to say, you know what, see, the next election, when they give you 5K, don't collect. The person will first of all look at you. You have 5,000 naira. Tomorrow, if I don't have money, if somebody gives me 5,000 naira, I would collect. Would you feed me? If they give me a bag of rice, I would collect. Would you give me a bag of rice? And that's why the mentality is just cyclic at that point. So it is deliberate. That's why sometimes I feel, the poverty of the people within this part of the country, or part of the world generally in Africa, is deliberate, because you understand that we have the resources and we have the technocrats. We know we have the sharp minds to get it done. Because when you look at the credentials of a lot of these leaders, I mean, you see them graduated from these schools, that school, and
are you still paying attention to those papers in this 21st century?
But some of them you can actually attest to the fact that yes, these ones are people who are supposed to know how to and when to. So when they come into power, I think it is just deliberate. Their attempts to make the people see why they should not revolt, or see to the fact that the people do not come out of that box, because keeping them there keeps them under control. Keeping them there makes them want to, whenever they want to come, they say, the previous administration, they didn't let you do this, they didn't give you good roads, they didn't give you that and that. And people just look around immediately and say that, oh, true, we don't have good roads. Please come and give us good roads. They won't ask you, what again outside of this good road are you going to give me? Because this is basic necessity.
Well, I would agree with you, even if I'm trying to look for solutions. For the leaders, it has to be a mental shift.
It has to be a mental shift.
It's not something that...
But the mental shift will come quicker if more people have some sort of financial strength.
doesn't necessarily have to be too buoyant.
There is no argument as to the fact that a man who has eaten properly or who has all the resources available to him can make decisions that are from his soul at times. In reality, if you're very hungry, your focus is to eat.
Unless you're very strong.
Unless you're very
strong.
How long
looking
can your
for how to
strength,
change.
That's
the thing.
How long can your strength even carry you, before you yield to the
imminent hunger?
Yeah, the imminent hunger, and of course availability of food, and how many people can actually fight for a long time. So generally, it's something that is for now. Some part of Africa is really hitting us really hard. Nigeria is one of those countries. Now, I see something that is repeating. Now, let's flash back to 2013, 2014, when the elections, preparations for the elections were hotting up a little bit. That's for the former administration. Now, I'm talking about Goodluck Jonathan. Now, I am just telling myself, I'm struggling to tell myself there's a new thing I'm hearing. But there's nothing new I'm actually hearing. Whatever the new people want to sell to us now, including the governor, because they are throwing it up little by little, even though we know latter stages of this year, next year, would actually bring everything in their mind in terms of what they would sell to us as their manifesto. They're bringing it to the fore. But for now, what we hear is pockets of this is what they are not doing. And I can't pick too many differences from what we had. And if you go back in time, it's the same thing. Once it's close to the election, the next people that want to take over just come in. Oh, we want to push these people out. They have not done all this. Look at the road. They call a particular region. These people enter and they probably try to fix the road of that region because they promised that region. They forget all these other regions. And these other regions, the potholes now start coming. The next one now come, no, we are not going to take it. So we keep going around in circles. And like you said, it's something we need to start asking questions. And like, if people are more, in quotes, if they have a better lease of life, they can confidently ask those questions without a fear of not getting the least 3,000 or 2,000 naira that could come.
When time comes.
When the time comes. Because sometimes they actually share things, even if it's rice and all. But this is what we are crying about, is that democracy should have left this level in Nigeria. We should have gone past the level where we share things. That is, call all the community. That shouldn't be why you're sitting there. You're sitting there because you must provide infrastructural change, economical change, educational improvements. It should be something that is an all-rounder. You should enhance the system, create an opportunity for other people to thrive. Let it be that in a liberal Nigeria, I can start selling the little peanuts I have today, and I know for sure that there will be no restriction for me to take it from this level to the next level, and even get to a level where it's global. Why is it that they call it a liberal America? A Henry Ford could start from where he is and grow the Ford Motor. It's even living beyond him. A Steve Jobs could start from where he is and grow. I'm talking about business now. Go to sports, go to industry, it's the same thing. Do we have that kind of environment? Now, let's say you want to do tomato business. You don't have a well spelled out or arranged security in the northeast, and that's maybe the best places where these things do come from. How do you actually grow your business if you cannot get access to that? We've had people traveling across and they are kidnapped. Who wants to risk his life because I'll probably just stick with where I am and just enjoy the arrangement. Like they say when it comes to crabs, keep only a crab in a particular container, and he would always want to creep out. But keep a lot of crabs to drag him down when he wants to go out, and they will all remain around that same particular place. It's the same thing when it comes to the way we are now as a people.
I don't know how this escaped my mind when we're talking about the sit-tight syndrome for a lot of leaders in Africa. There was one time, I don't know where I was traveling to. I think I was in Uyo at the time, and I heard a group of followers to a particular political party and politician say, after he's done with being governor, we'll vote him to go and be senator so that he can go and rest there. And it hit it like, while I was thinking about this today, I just remembered and I thought that, yes, maybe we are the ones who support for this kind of. What do you mean by for him to go and rest there after being, serving as governor for 8 years or 4 years, depending?
You can imagine.
Then you can imagine where they get their, that thought of wanting to hold on to the corridors of power. Because the followers and the people underneath them also want them to stay there, because apparently that's the best way to show that you are loyal to a politician, or that's the best way to show that you're loyal or a good follower to a particular political party. And it then means that the issue of Nigerian politicking and democracy is tied between the mentality of the leaders, the mentalities of the followers, and the people who decide not to even say anything at all about what goes on in the country. That is why we find, leaders who would come in and sway the swayable and maybe the gullible and vulnerable people in the country, while people who are supposed to be talking say little or nothing because they want to distance themselves away from things of politicking, because according to them, it is not right. So with that kind of behavior, when are we actually going to achieve true democracy that both the man who is interested in politicking or the one who is not interested in it will benefit from?
Well, it's a system that is roped into too many things, and of course itself too. And it's going to be challenging, because if I say massive education and literacy, you would also see the educated illiterates and the ones who have also gotten all the education and still decided, they've traveled around the world, they've done everything. You say, okay, this person's mind would be different, but they still think like I would say, once they get into Nigeria, they'll say, no, in Nigeria, this is how it works. And that's how it works. That tradition is something we need to break out of. All we can do, like I would always say, you can't fit pictures, we need to transform here, everything, people would start. No. I just believe we need to keep hoping that some set of people or somebody with a different approach, because like you said, there are people who are not interested in politics. I don't know of anywhere, but in the East, that I know very well of, if you succeed as a politician, God has blessed you.
Because people don't care.
They don't care. It's their business. Just give me the opportunity to do my business. I am fine with it. And whoever comes into power, that's a different place anyway. What they just do basically is they don't scatter Alaba markets. They don't destroy these markets. They don't scatter. Just keep doing your business and the people will be happy with you. Maybe make sure you send people to reduce tax force that collect money from them. You are doing well as a governor. Nobody even goes to ask the intricate questions and the questions that would cause a change. Now, there's what we call cause and effect. And most times I've tried my best to say, okay, where are all these effects we are seeing on top? Where is it coming from? It goes down to our democracy and how it started. I must put that out. I think our founding fathers, especially of our independence, go back even before the Abat Macaulay, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Ahmadu Bello and the others. I think they didn't do a proper job. I know the military system, coups and everything also constituted fundamentally to some of the problems we are seeing today. But if I am to go back to solutions because of our time, I don't think it's a thing of points to education. Before, that's what we used to think. Increase the number of literates
the more
we have.
Aware people are, the better
and all
the
that.
system
But
would
I
become.
have seen people who are aware. I've seen people with PhDs who go to drag ballot box.
So we've even seen people with PhDs who defend things that are not good in this part of the world. So what are we saying?
So it's not a thing of the number of papers you have. I just believe we need some set of people with a different approach. It might be 5, it might be 10. And that's why I believe wherever you are, you're convicted to start that change. Don't feel caged in a box to do it. Just start with the little you can. Let's just start with you, where you are. Maybe, let's say you're a lecturer. Start with that place. Stop saying if you don't give me 2,000, you would not pass. So if you don't do this, you would not. Let's start with that. From that, your own little office. Start seeing how you can create a better Nigeria through your actions. So I think until we get there, we are still miles away from what we see in the countries where we look up to for practical democracy. We are not there yet. In Africa here, I struggle to pick countries. I can pick even the South Africa we talk about, after Nelson Mandela came out of the office, we can go back. I don't want to pick names. Jacob Zuma, call all the names you want to call. One or two of them were still indicted. Go back to Zambia and some of the other countries. If they are not indicted, they are holding tight to power, or they are doing one thing or the other. So we need to, as a people, decide to take a different approach. And it's a thing of a decision and leadership. Visionary leadership is something we deserve. Like I would always say, if you've succeeded somewhere as a Nigerian, other parts of the country, come back and try it out here. You fail again, you try again. Like we had with the presidency and all that. And to also add, yes, we've talked about the people, but our people are also growing in terms of
awareness,
their belief system and awareness. I think we are beginning to have more people who are saying no to those kind of leadership where all they do is give you 2,000 and 1,000
and I think in due time we'll grow beyond just saying no and backing it
exactly
up with
because what these our politicians do is that they always upgrade. This is business for them. Some of them, they always upgrade their tactics.
So as we grow in awareness, they grow in tactics.
They know where to probably hit it. Now we're talking about youth. The political parties are already strategizing. Who do we bring and how do we sell it? That this is a youth. And the people who want to come out, what they'll probably do is probably they'll get on social media and start sending you videos of how they are dancing like youths and all that. And I think we must, when we have the next chance to vote, we must stand to find out look at the content of their character.
True. How would we know that this
NSAS
protesting has an effect and people actually understood what they were protesting for? Is when come 2023, there's a projection of a youth, and then people ask beyond being youth, what can you do for Nigeria? Because that's when we would know.
It's not just a youth problem. Like I said, focus more on the content of the characters of the people who are coming out, and not just on. I have been a House of Rep member before. I built roads for my people. No, the world has gone past that. And you cannot be operating with a 1976 brain in 2020. It doesn't work that way. You have to step up. The fact that it happened in 1886 in India does not mean if you apply it in 2021, it would work. Right, so we need to shift from that point and start focusing on how to work from where we are to where we need to be. Malaysia and the others, that probably Singapore and the others who had a revolutionized system, did not do it in 500 years. Like we always say, we'll get there. No, we can start from here to start pushing. Some of them, it took 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. But are we already on that path is the question we should ask ourselves. And anybody who is not willing to drive us to, anybody who wants to lead us with 1876 ideas, or probably ideas of our Operation Fee Pothole, or Operation Walk Your Road, or something like that. Anybody who wants to only focus on those things, it's not bad. But that should not be the only focus in this 21st century, because you can tell me of a truth we can relate that our problems in 1950 in Nigeria is not the same today. Then we had more bushes and all that. We're looking for more roads. There was no track road to some of the water sites we have these days. But these times that we are in, things have actually changed, and we need to actually get people who are willing to drive that change with the times, and not just people who tell you, once the person tells you I'll give you a bag of rice to vote for me, I think honestly you should start asking him, Oga, bag of rice is good, maybe it's for Christmas, what are you giving to our people in terms of infrastructural change?
Your 4-10
what are you thinking
tenure?
Outside the box? Don't tell me we'll fix lights, we'll start having power supply regularly. That has been a promise of since we've been hearing since the ages and all that. So I think that's just the best way we'll start as a people to gravitate ourselves from this level.
All right, let me quickly open the phone lines now and let's have our opinion on this particular matter. When do you think Africa and indeed Nigeria will begin to move towards enjoying true democracy, having the people work towards getting better leaders, and the leaders understanding that whenever you get into power, the whole idea is to work for the positive change and growth of your people and the nation? And if that's not working, you might want to exit and allow for another person to take over. 0817-0000951 or 0810-951-0951. Send in your messages to the number 0701-9339-962. 95.1 FM. Hello.
Hello, Lady Wells.
Good afternoon, Lawson. You're welcome.
Yes, greetings. Superman, I greet you. Seriously, I don't know. Your discussion, your conversation is just going towards the leaders.
But did you not hear when we were hammering on the people?
Yes, fine. Now, it's not a question of the leaders. It's also the people. I feel more blame should go to the people, especially the Nigerian people. See, well, if you look at it, take Nigeria. Since soon after independence, when the colonial masters handed over, you understand, Nigeria has continued to go aground. The leaders that are becoming are running the country aground. Nothing is working. Is anything working? Look at all the sectors, all the institutions. It's not only take for instance, the president and the governors. They are not the ones manning some of those institutions. Look at wisdom. You are very good in sports. You know sports very well. Look at sports. Look at our league. It was established in 1972. South African League was established in 1996. Look at the difference. South Africans are at European level. We can't even come close. You see the difference. You used to tell us in sports, don't worry, we are coming. I'm surprised you are saying something else today. Maybe you are doing a PDP APC today. So
no, it's not a matter of doing PDP APC. Lawson, the truth is, when you look at it, from the leaders to the people, the fault lies in between. The leaders would not allow for a change. The people would not insist for a change, and that's where the problem is. So you cannot blame one and leave the other because they're all products of each other.
Good. I am not being one and leaving the other. But what I'm saying is that the leader comes from among the people.
All right, then.
These leaders you see, they come from among the people.
So the people should change.
Yes, so the people should change. Wisdom said something that you understand what's his name now? The American, I can't remember his name now, but he said something which wisdom said. You don't judge a man by any other thing, whether his color of his skin or whatever, but by his character content. It's what our character content is not good. You understand? If the people, the character content of the people, you understand, is good, then the leaders will also be good. So it's all this whole thing is the people. Repeat it again. Look at election. Young people, once there is election, time for election, they will just go there. What are they going there to do? How much they will get? That's what they're after.
All right, then.
Kind of country change.
All right,
so
thank
for
you.
me, the bulk of this blame goes to the people. Thank you, my dear sister.
All right, thank you, Lawson, for your contribution there. Honestly, we deliberately extended the time before taking the calls because of the phone lines. We have been having some issues with taking calls, so bear with us. When we can, we will. We see the calls coming in, and anytime the brain functions well, we'll take your call. 95.1 FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Please turn down the volume of your radio.
My name is Ben, calling from Obawan.
You're welcome, Ben.
Let me first take on from the last speaker. He said most of the blame should go to the people. I cannot blame anybody except the leader. If we say we want to have a government, or we have a government, and people will mind there to do what they are supposed to do to benefit the people, and we are saying that it is the character of the people that is working for the leaders, or they are using the character of the people to work whatever they are doing. Then let there be no government so that everybody will live like that. You can't say because if there is a cause in anywhere today, there will not be movement. It's government that put it. It's not the people.
So the government should institute the change and people will follow.
Yes.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying. The people will see. Government will tell you that government don't have business doing business. What are they doing here?
Okay, let's take for instance what's happening in the US now. The government is, they feel, the people, majority of the people feel that the government is wrong. And the people came out and expressed it through their voting, isn't it? So it then means that both the people also have the power to implement change just as much as the government does.
Hello?
Yes, are you there?
I'm not getting you.
All right, oh dear. Do well to call back, all right? Do well to call back. Hopefully we'll be able to take your calls. And this one coming from Gift in PH says, Nigerian leaders are a bunch of recycled people. A man will serve 8 years as governor, go to Senate and stay as long as he wants and maybe becomes a minister. No competence and experts are considered. This one says, loyalty, my leader, politics, in quote. Equivalent to, again, in quotes, obey the last order military. The problem of Nigerian politics, that is it. That is obeying the last order and loyalty to my leader. That's coming coming from gifts in Ada George. And of course, that's the issue. I mean, if you look at it, that's where all the problem lies. 95.1 FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Friday.
You're welcome, Friday.
The problem we are having is that even the people and the leaders, no one is doing. Okay, for example, we may say today, to give us their manifesto, telling us what to do and what not to do. What of as we see what they have promised and we believe in voting them? Getting there, they will not do what they say. Most of the time, they tell us what they will do, but they doesn't do it when they get there. So sometimes people believe in taking that little they have seen because they know quite well, even if they get there, they have nothing to offer.
Okay. All right then. But isn't that what is part of our problem? I mean, taking what you can take for the now and then hopefully tomorrow it gets better. That's where the problem is. Lacking the willpower to institute that change.
Because they know that even if they vote earlier, that in short, I don't know whether I may call it the blood in us or what. The kind of people we have in this side of the world, it's only God that knows what is in our mind.
Hopefully God also comes to change them for us, since we believe that it's only God that can save us. Well, as I said, we're having issues with taking calls and all of that. That's why we've not been able to take calls from the very beginning of the show, and we're talking the whole time. So hopefully we get to rectify this particular matter. But Wisdom, you heard the last caller and what he said. He said not to blame the people because the people are simply just taking because that is the only opportunity they have to take from the government. And that's where the problem is, at least a majority of it. But then again, how do you blame people who do not have anything? People, as we said, who are hungry and the only thing they're thinking about is how to feed themselves and feed their children for the now.
Well, I believe we'll get there someday. We'll continue pushing. That we are pushing. The change is coming. Maybe little by little, maybe pockets of changes little by little will get there, but it is coming. And I believe everybody who wants to see a change, at least for your future children, even if it doesn't happen in your time, you must start making the conscious decisions as to the level of leadership that you accept and the ones you repel. You can't eat 5,000 for 5 years. Well, I believe as a people we must make the right decisions. You can't eat 5,000 naira for 5 years or for 4 years that the man stays in power. It would finish maybe in 1 or 2 days, even the rice and all that stuff. So from where you are, make particular decisions. The election is coming up again. We already have LG elections, even if that one looks a little bit one-sided. But the presidential elections and the governorship elections will return in 2023. You must start today. First, you have to start demanding for positives from the people who are representing you and leading you from the top. It is very, very important that we start demanding already. Then before 2023, when we get a chance to make best of those decisions.
All right, quickly, these two messages just came in. Says, until our African leaders change their mentality and know the reason why the people voted them in, that's when we'll see a change. Coming from Stephen Unduka. This one says, hi, wealth and wisdom. Good afternoon. It will take a long time for Africa to have true democracy. I mean, for that to happen, the agency called government must be ready to be accountable to the people. Secondly, politics must be made unattractive in Africa. Coming from Fortune in Ozoba. And all of these are good solutions. Hopefully we get to understand in time to come that we are doing this not just for us, but for our future, our children and all, everybody that is in our circle. If we do not get good leadership, we would continue to languish in poverty and suffering, and we wouldn't want that for the coming generation. Until tomorrow, do have an amazing day. Today's Sports Life comes up next with Emeka Dena, so do stay tuned. It promises to be very, very interesting.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
What a goal! Hangs it up for Ronaldo. Oh, my God!
Experience the glorious goals rush. The heated verbal jabs and even moments of madness. Experience the sensational swings, strokes and shots. The moments of victory and despair. Experience lights out on a majestic night in Singapore and a whole lot more.
On your premium talk news and sports radio station.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Listen to Sports Attack every weekday from 7:30 a.m. and Today Sports Live after the news update at 3 p.m. Stay tuned on Saturdays and Sundays for a bumper edition of Today Sports Live from 1 to 6 p.m. Experience sports in its entirety on your premium talk news and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Hello, my name is Kanu Wanko, aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
Feel the magic in the air. Feel the magic in the air.
Feel the magic in the air. Magic system. Red one, Shawty. Yes, I love that. Feel the magic in the Comme d'habitude, on est calé. Comme toujours, ça va aller. On te met l'ambiance à gogo.
A very good afternoon to you all out there. Welcome to yet another exciting edition of today's Sports Live. The show is reaching you from the studios of your premium news talk and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. Emeka Dena is my name, the Dugu one of sports. To God be the glory. It's good to be back on your radio this lovely Thursday afternoon. If you wake up and, no complaint of malaria, no typhoid, no whatever, you're healthy, going about your business normally, you have to be very grateful to God, I tell you. You don't know what it means to be healthy, Only the sick will tell you that. To God be the glory. And of course, I'm not alone in the studio this afternoon. The Superman, Wisdom Obina, is right here in the building. He has walked his is it? How did they put it? Socks off. Yeah, yes, all this way, right?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to everyone in the studio. It's been a while, just some few days since I saw Emeka on that other side now. But it's great to really have you back and great to be here also.
All right, the CJN is in the building. Chief Justice of Sports, Chidubem Joseph Njoko is in the building. Chidubem, good afternoon to you and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Emeka. Good afternoon, listeners. When we talked about walking socks off, I just thought perhaps he should be walking his mouth off because the mouth has been doing the walking.
No, that's fair. That's figurative.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be here and hopefully we'll have a nice show.
All right, we have a special guest in the building. He's a coach, a football coach. He has brought good news for you. Trust me on that. Ukpabio Utibe is his name. Coach Ukpabio, good to have you on the show this afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Emeka, and good afternoon for everybody.
All right.
And good afternoon to the listeners out there.
Coach Ukpabio Utibe is a football coach, like I told you. He's the chief coach of Niladen Football Academy. I hope I got it right.
Yeah.
Niladen Football Academy.
Yes.
He'll be telling us more about Niladen on the show this afternoon. But that's not all we'll be talking about. Basketball is on the show. Yes, James Harden is no longer a Houston Rockets player. His marriage with the Houston Rockets is over. He'll be joining the Brooklyn Nets to team up with Kevin Durant. He wanted out badly and he's eventually gotten his desire. We'll be telling you more about that. And do you think his arrival at Brooklyn Nets will help them win the title. We've seen big names move and help their teams move, win the title in the NBA. Do you think that will be the case for the Brooklyn Nets, who now have James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant in their ranks in the MPFL? Enyimba suffered an embarrassing defeat to struggling Heartland. I mean, it's a shameful one to say the least. And of course, the winning run of Rivers United eventually came to an end. No thanks to fatigue and perhaps breakdown of vehicle on the road. There's always an excuse when each time you lose, as it were. Okay. How about Imama Mafakabo and his boys, Abia Warriors? Please spare a thought for them. They bought as if they were going to win the league. Their chairman, Emeke Yama, we called him on the show before the season commenced. He said it's time for them to go for the title. But 4 matches, 4 defeats for Abia Warriors, including losing to Jigawa Golden Stars. I mean, who saw that one coming? Can Imama still turn things around no more here? These days they're playing even in Aba. Okay, we'll be telling you more about match day 4 in the MPFL yesterday. Yes, the matches took place yesterday, 10 matches precisely, and we'll have all the results on the show. We'll also be hearing from the managers as well in the EPL. Jose Mourinho and his boys struggled against Fulham yesterday, and one former Manchester United player, Gary Pallister, he says the Super Sunday clash between Manchester United and Liverpool will tell us if United are really serious to contend for the title in the Premier League. We'll have that on the show. Bayern Munich are also out of the DFB Pokal out there in Germany. And even as Mauricio Pochettino picks his first trophy as PSG manager. It's a loaded package like you can see already. And the show is interactive. We want you to be part of the discussion as well. The lines will be open in due time. But before then, you can send us your messages via text or WhatsApp to 07019 339962. That's 07019 339962. On Twitter, we are Today FM 951 at Today FM 951. That's the station's handle. Can equally tweet at any of us here in the building. My handle is at Dana Emeka. Chidubem's handle is at Chidubem NJ, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the Superman's handle is at Wisdom_OB, O for Orange, B for Banana. And later, like I told you, we'll be throwing the phone lines wide open for you to have your say. That's when we'll hand the microphone over to you for you to share your thoughts with us as well on the show. Don't go anywhere. The show will be right back after this time out. All right, the big news that hit the world of basketball yesterday was the fact that James Harden, the Beard, has left Houston Rockets to team up with Brooklyn Nets. We hear is a complicated deal that had to do with 4 different teams, but let's stick with Harden himself. He's going over to Brooklyn Nets. He's left Houston Rockets. He made his desire known long time ago that he wants to leave the club, the franchise, but somehow it was delayed, and eventually the man has gotten his wish to leave Houston Rockets. He looks like he's the big fish in a small pond, so to say. I mean, with such an accomplished player, MVP in the past, All-Star severally, one of the best players in the league, and at the end of the day, it looks like he finds himself in a franchise where he can't compete for the title, and perhaps he says he doesn't want anymore, and he has eventually gone over to Brooklyn Nets. Superman, what do you make of that move?
Well, for the man now talking about James Harden, I mean, 2 Western Conference finals, and of course 3 semi-finals appearances too with the Rockets side ever since he joined them in 2012. I think he's eyeing a maiden NBA title, and that's what led to the messy divorce between the 2 sides. It's a good opportunity for him. He teams up with Kevin Durant and even Kyrie Irving. Fine players anytime, any day. And we're also imagining that this kind of thing will happen. Back on Tuesday, he actually put out a very wrong attitude that even led to criticisms from his teammates, now former teammates, likes of John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. I think it's going to be
a fine season for Brooklyn Nets if we are to go by the names. Durant is currently having a personal absence for now, but I'm sure when he returns, if these three forces combine, coupled with the other players in the team, it's going to be a blockbuster team now that we'll be expecting when they take on whoever they take on next. And you look at Victor Oladipo, the Nigerian perspective, although decent now, not like he plays for us for now. He moving also, I was actually surprised because even if he wanted to do any of those deals, I wasn't thinking it was going to be Ladipo who will be switching around too. But there you have it for the Houston Rockets. I wonder how they would survive without this man. Ever since he joined them in 2012 from Oklahoma City Thunder, he's been a fine addition to the side. I wonder how they will pull through now, but we'll see how
they want nothing with him, so to say. They want absolutely nothing with him, Chidubem. Now he's gone to Brooklyn Nets that have got accomplished players, the likes of Kevin Durant, who won the title with Golden State Warriors back then. And I mean, Kyrie Irving also a winner as well in that side. Do you think his arrival at Brooklyn Nets will put them in contention for the NBA title? We've seen that happen for Lakers. Following the move now, the trading of LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
I think even before he came, they were already contenders for the title with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant coming over from the Golden State Warriors, because the problem was getting them fit. Kyrie Irving is rarely fit the whole season, and you can say the same for Kevin Durant as well. You can't beat your chest and say he's going to be around. Yes, he's out now with COVID-19, but you expect that he's going to be back soon in the squad. But with the coming of James Harden, I think it's going to be fireworks at the Brooklyn Nets, because I think right now you could argue that they have the best squad in the league. Yes, Anthony Joshua and LeBron James Anthony Davis now, have got a fantastic pairing. Of course, this season they've already started nicely. Even the man LeBron James was on fire yesterday, continuing for where he stopped in the last game. But you would think with the scoring of the man, James Harden, is one of the best scorers in this particular division. Yes, you could talk about Steph Curry, who's the best of all times, I think. And with Kevin Durant also in the mix, Kyrie Irving also has a huge backup. It's going to be massive for them. And I think on the long run, they might just end up being the toughest challenge that the Lakers will have this season, because they've got all it takes. But my worry, Emeka, is the character of the man, because it's not just about how much you can play. James Harden is a very heady player. And I wonder how the coach is going to manage the ego of James Harden and Kevin Durant in the same team. Exactly. Because that's what I fear for. Because if they have any matchup, any ugly incident between themselves, it might just
be detrimental to the goal of the team.
Whatever they are doing in that team. And that's why the 76ers, I think, did not bother getting him, because the synergy in that team was already
that a gamble worth taking?
Well, it's worth taking when you consider the
abilities of the man.
I think yes. These two guys now, Kyrie Irving and Durant, are more like ball carriers. The reason why this guy even comes in is distribution. So if that's the plan as Steve Nash has in mind, I think it's going to work out well.
All right, Steve Nash himself is more or less a rookie coach, as it were. But let's see how it pans out. We wish James Harden all the best in his new career. Yes, in his new venture right there with the Brooklyn Nets. He made that big move yesterday, and of course, he will now be playing for the Brooklyn Nets. Let's leave basketball and switch our attention to football. Not the MPFL yet. I will go to Coach Babio Utibe of Niladen Football Academy. Coach Babio, for someone hearing Niladen Football Academy for the first time, I have a lot of listeners out there. They're hearing Niladen Football Academy. What is Niladen Football Academy? What are they into? I mean, is this one of those academies around? Just tell us about Niladen Football Academy.
Well, Niladen Football Academy is a very good football academy. I was found in year 2018 by June, and since then we have been into very good area of development in football for the young talent. And then in the 2019 we went into series of a tournament, and by the end of the year,
tournaments in Port Harcourt or Nigeria or where?
Nigeria. Throughout, we went to Abuja and also in Abia State, and in 2019 we were the champions of the state tournament here in Port Harcourt. And here now
the Keves
Cup,
yes, I remember that one.
Here now in 2021, we are about to participate in the ATO Cup for 2021, and even also the Port Harcourt League, and also even in the ATO Super League for 2021.
All right, so that's basically a brief summary of Niladan Football Academy. I understand that you have a program coming up very soon. Tell us about the screening program you've lined up and where and when is it going to take place?
Well, we have a screening exercise slated for 18th of this January 2021.
That's in 4 days' time, right? Today
Yeah,
is 14th.
on Monday.
Yeah,
Monday.
Monday. Yes, Monday. And we're looking for the age bracket between the age of 12 to 22 to give them good talent, bring them up to play good football and become a very good young talent in the.
All right. So you are saying that in the course of this program you're looking for young footballers between the age of 12 and 22, right?
22, yeah.
All right. Between the age of 12 and 22, and you're organizing this screening program.
Yeah.
Now, for the children who will be coming, I mean, we have lots of them in that age bracket out there who are eager to play football. They are talented, and all that. They want to showcase their talent. What will happen, during that period? What will you guys be doing? How do you select them? Are you looking for the best footballers amongst them? How are you going to go about the screening exercise there?
Yeah, we have a lot of coaches that will
work with you too.
Work with me also. And we have categories being divided on the age brackets.
Okay.
So when they come, the underage ones will have their own platforms, while the 18 to 19, 20 years will have their own
platforms. The underage is the ones that are less than 18?
Yes.
From 12 to 17?
Yes, from 12 to 17.
Okay. Will they be paying any kind of fees to be part of this program? Because Nigerians, they love free bees and what have you. But, if you have an academy where people and children are taught how to play the basics, play football at a very young age, catching them young, I think it shouldn't be free, if you ask me. Because, even over there abroad, such things like this are not free.
Yeah, even at abroad, they have the ones that are free, the ones that are being scouted, and there are the ones that are being paid for registration. So especially the ones that have been paid for registration are mostly the underage. So those are the ones we are really looking at registrations area for.
Okay.
While the ones between the age of 17 to 22, they are the ones we can scout to keep for the future market, especially.
All right. Those listening who are keen to come around on the 18th when this screening exercise will go ahead, they want to know exactly how much are they bringing to the table in terms of registration fee. Those who want to register, how much are they registering with? Is that something you want to give out right here?
No, not right here, but yeah, they have to come to the office of the Nalidan Football Academy, which is at opposite the Okoronodu Community School.
Okay.
At Roma Hall, Port Harcourt.
Okay, that's where you have your office.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure you also have your contact as well for further details in case they want to make further inquiries, regarding the screening exercise. But where is this screening exercise going to take place?
At the Roma Hall Community School, opposite our office.
Okay, opposite your office at Roma Hall Community School, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Superman, I'm wondering if you have any question for him or Chudubem. If you have any question for Coach Babio Utibe.
One of our listeners has a question for you, actually. He's Max, and he's based in Port Harcourt. He's asking you, Coach Utibe. He says, watching you guys at Clevers was awesome, mostly your captain. Why did Niladan football team not play in the PHCT League last year? And what plan you guys have for this season?
All right, interesting question. This is from a follower of the club. He saw you at the Cavs competition which you won in 2019, and he said, why did you not play in the Port Harcourt City League? I was part of the Port Harcourt City League. We covered that league at Joseph Yobo Mini Stadium sometime in December. It ended in December actually. Yeah. So why did you not register? Or didn't you hear about that competition?
Yeah,
it was for about 16 teams here in the States.
Yeah, 16 teams.
I
really followed the competition. It was played around my areas. I live around the area. I watched some of the matches there. Although we shut down during the COVID-19 outbreak during that match, and since then we are really struggling out to resume back to sections by then. So when we heard about the league, it was very narrow for us to resume. So we decided to come back again in January to participate for the next season. We had to allow them to play the first season so that we can see how it is being organized.
All right. Interestingly, we have some of our listeners who already know about Niladan Football Academy. Now, I'm wondering, in Nigeria today, if you look at the Super Eagles, a lot of the players in the Super Eagles pass through academies like this. Kelechi Nwakale, Kelechi Hanacho,
Samuel
Chukwueze, Victor Osimhen, they all pass through academies like this. Some of them did not even play in these clubs we are mentioning, all these Enyimba, they didn't even play here. They just through the academy, they went to Europe after playing in under 17 and what have you. How important are academies like your own, Niladan Football Academy? How important are these kind of academies in producing great talents? Because we look at the bulk of Super Eagles players, the majority of them now are product of academies.
Yeah, we are really working at a partnership with a club in Portugal. For now, just looking at the period between after the January era and February, the managing director of Niladan Football Academy will be heading out to Portugal to Benfica to have a complete partnership with the agency.
Okay. You have something like that in line?
Yeah.
Oh, that's massive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is the major reason why we really want to resume back, because of we can't be waiting for them, or they can't be waiting for us. We have to have a team down prepared so that whenever they called at Niladan, we need a player so that we can really send one talent here in Nigeria for the club out there in Portugal.
All right, but I'm talking about the academies now. I mean, how important is it to have academies like this, around the country? Because it looks like it's something that is really working. Yes.
Yeah, football academies is a very lucrative business.
Are you looking at the business part of it now?
Yeah. Whatever you are doing in life, you really have to look at the business aspect of it, because you put in money and you must have money back in it to run the system perfectly.
Sure.
So, and we have a lot of talent.
Imagine you are the academy that produced Victor Osimhen now.
Yeah. well, that is really what we are really working at, to have a talent like that out there, watching him at the UEFA Champions League and even at the UEFA Europa League, and even at the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup out there. So, but here in Niladan, we are really working things out very well, especially for the Port Harcourt youth, the Port Harcourt talent. Because there are lots of talent here in Port Harcourt, and we can't just sit down and fold our hands and let this talent just die just like that within a twinkle of an eye.
All right, so going forward, you intend to, make Port Harcourt a hub for talents, say you can nurture young talents that you discover from these screening exercise, and say you can also push them forward and, send them abroad. There's no harm in that. We want players scattered across the world, play for big club size. So tomorrow, we would like to advertise a player who will say, from Niladan here, he's now playing for AC Milan, he's playing for Chelsea, he's playing for Manchester United. That would be wonderful news going forward. I will still come back to you in a jiffy, but Superman, I'm looking at this academy arrangement, and it's really interesting. And to buttress the fact, someone have already sent in message that someone has sent a message that they watched this club. They watched Niladan play, and they were very impressive during the Keves Cup, which they eventually won in 2019. Last year, we barely played football in this country due to COVID-19 and what have you. And it looks like they're towing the right path already.
Maybe they looking at the other very, very successful academies we've had in the past, and that's why they're probably initiating the same process. Recruiting of players now, maybe getting young stars who want to actually take their football to the next level. I think that's the way to go. I was even going to ask what happens. Do they have any plans maybe in the future to integrate 9-year-olds, because it said 12 to 17 and the other age range. So
I think it's a good one, and they are not just a side that are starting just based on names.
Even though they are relatively new,
but they've experienced some level of success, and you can always push that out to tell people, yes, if we can do it, then we have ambitions to even bring in stars that hopefully tomorrow will not just play for the Barcelonas and Real Madrid, will play for our own national team. So I think it's a good way to go. I would even advise coach to maybe keep up and see how you can even move up to the next level, so that these youngsters, as they are coming in, like you mentioned, Wilfred Ndidi and the others. I think Fisaya Adaro put it out that he even failed the MRI test also.
Yes,
but he still went
in 2013. He didn't go to
still moved up to Belgium. So who knows? As you guys are moving up, you can be linked to some of these little academies also in the other parts of the world.
And so that's what they're trying to work out with the Benfica guys in Portugal.
To the other parts of the world.
And Benfica have got a wonderful youth system, trust me
they
on
have
that.
A very
wonderful youth system. They produce lots of talents there at tender age, and go ahead to sell them to some of the big clubs in the world and make huge money from that, as it were. So for someone who wants to contact you, just to summarize what you've said already, Niladan Football Academy will be having their screening program on the 18th of this month. That's in 4 days' time, by 4 p.m.
Yeah,
is it a one-day program?
From Monday to Friday.
Okay, from Monday to Friday. You start on the 18th and run till Friday that week, or at 4 p.m. daily. Yeah. And where is it going to take place?
At the Community Secondary School Okoronodo.
Okoronodo, Roma Holo, okay. Community Secondary School Okoronodo, Roma Holo. And we have it for children between the ages of 12 to 22. 12 to 22. 12 to 17 would register. Yeah. Then those from 18 and above will not need to register. Yeah. Right? And of course, if someone wants to contact you, you call this number if you want to contact Niladan. If you want to be part of this screening program, please do call this number 070 3229 5480. That's 070 3229 5480. Okay? Those are the numbers you call. I'll take them again just in case you missed it. Contact Niladan on 070 3229 5480. So you can be part of the screening exercise and get further details of how to be part of the screening exercise that starts on the 18th of this month through the 22nd or 23rd. Okay, thereabout there. So let's shift our attention now to the MPFL. I still have Coach Utibe in the building. He's the football coach, so he knows a lot about football in the MPFL too, and generally across the world. Chidubem, I didn't see this one coming. Enyimba, we'll get to Enyimba in a jiffy, but let's quickly let you know that Chinedu Daga's 29th-minute goal from a well-taken free kick was enough to ensure Wiki Tourists emerged victorious against Rivers United in a highly contested game at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium in Bauchi. A free kick into the net from outside the box was enough to send the ball past Abiodun Konde in goal. Although early pressure had belonged to Wiki Tourists, but Rivers United responded with Cletus Emerton's 25-yard strike, forcing out a save from Stanley Nwabale. Now, in the second half of the encounter, Coach Stanley Goma stepped up the game by bringing on Fortune Monewari and Nelson Esau in the 58th minute. The game continued at some pace, and if anything, Rivers United looked the better team to score, but they failed to get the vital equalizer, to the disappointment of their coach, Stanley Egoma.
On Sunday, we had a terrific period, moment traveling from Port Harcourt to Bauchi. We have a hectic period because fatigue was very, very instrumental in our loss today. I think I will do that. Maybe because breakdown we had on the road before coming. But I think that the players tried their best. We have lost today, but we still have other games to play. We're going to correct our mistakes and work on the fatigue issue.
All right. Meanwhile, head coach of Wiki Tourists, Usman Abdallah, was happy with the win, but expressed disappointment at the missed chances his side had in the encounter.
We won the game in the first half. I've expected a lot of goals, maybe 2 or 3 in the first half, but unfortunately, we missed some chances and we didn't get too much of the ball in the 18-yard box. So we tried to do that in the second half, which we did, but we squandered a few chances there. But it's football, that's how it is. We're lucky we get that first goal and we bag in the 3 points. We are happy with that.
All right, elsewhere, Heartland recorded their first win of the season following a 2-0 victory against Enyimba in the match they fought encounter at the Danayam Stadium in Owerri yesterday. Shedrack Ogali and Emmanuel Adachi were on target for Heartland in the encounter. Enyimba's captain, Austin Oladakpo, says conceding the first goal was enough to do the damage for his side, against his side.
The team got it wrong from the first goal. The mistakes are part of football. You know, you can't just can't begin to persecute the goalkeeper because of that particular mistake. But I think from that very moment, the team lost concentration. And then the second goal wasn't too good either. And the painful part is for the past how many matches now I've been conceding same goal. That is what is very painful.
All right, in another Oriental derby, Rangers defeated FC Fayamba 2-1 in Enugu. Israel Abia's 12-minute penalty was cancelled out by Ekene Awazie 5 minutes late after the break. Shedrack Asiebu netted the winning goal in the 57th minute. Here is Uche Abu of FC Fayamba speaking after the encounter.
The Rangers players were moving freely. They were moving freely. The front men, the Rangers team, they don't have a permanent position. They were just moving around. So my boys they never understood what they were doing. But when it came the second half, and I told them that, no, these boys are roving. So what you do now is, once this man is running to your side, don't know pick you. Then my own attackers as well, you start roving as well.
All right, that was Uche Okabue of FC Fayamba. Actually, not Uche Abu. Uche Okabue is his name, the FC Fayamba coach. Let's now hear from the coach of Rangers, the one and only Salisu Yusuf, who was excited about the win.
Caused a lot of problems to us, but at the end of the day, we won and we're really happy. I believe that always the officiating officials should be applying the rules of the game, no matter the. You know, when you watch the European order, they can give 3 penalties. One is there is foul. It's according to the rules of the game. You understand? But we took it in good faith.
All right, you had the coaches right there. Let's quickly serve you the full results of matches played yesterday in the MPFL. Adamawa United played at a goalless draw with Nasarawa United. Elsewhere, Kano Pillars defeated Plateau United by a lone goal. Wiki Tourists equally beat Rivers United by a goal to nothing. Kwara United played at a 1-1 draw with Aqua United. Abia Warriors were beaten in Aba by Jigawa Golden Stars, who won 3-1. Rangers won their third game this season, beating FC Fayamba 2-1. It ended Dakada FC 1, MFM FC 1. Sunshine Stars drew 2-2 with Lobby Stars, while Warri Wolves trashed Katsina United 3-0. Elsewhere, Heartland surprisingly beats Enyimba 2-0 for their first win of the season. Chidubem, any prize guessing? Most impressive result for you?
Most impressive. Ordinarily, you say Heartland beating Enyimba, but I don't think it's much of a surprise because Enyimba being currently without a win in 7 against Heartland FC, and this history has a way of repeating itself. It happened to Rivers United as well. They've not won as well they've won just once in 7 games against Wiki Tourists. You can remember what Wiki Tourists did to them here.
Yeah, Wiki beat them here.
Exactly, played good football as well. So these things have a way of repeating themselves, and I'm pretty much not surprised that Heartland got the job done against Enyimba. I thought that was going to happen one way or the other because.
So which result surprised you the most there?
The most surprising, it's difficult to pick, but
Jigawa Golden Stars beating Abia Warriors in Aba 3-1.
Perhaps that would be because Abia Warriors have been struggling this season, and well, anybody can beat Abia Warriors this time. It feels that way. 4 games, no wins, all losses. It's absolutely horrendous for the man, considering the much investments that have come into the side. Yeah, there are talks about issues happening behind the scene, but it's not enough. Abia Warriors should be getting the job done. So for that will pass because Jigawa Golden Stars, they are not a side to really look out for when it comes to contention for the league. They just got promoted, last season, so that should take the biscuit.
All right, Superman, for Abia Warriors, should we start asking questions about Imama's, credentials there? I mean, how do you play 4 matches and you lose all 4, including 2 at home? Now, you lose to Jigawa Golden Stars after taking the lead in the encounter. If you lose to Enyimba, we'll understand, but not Jigawa Golden Stars in Aba.
Well, they've actually performed far below all expectations, I must say. Nobody expected Abia Warriors to be even losing to Enyimba, the way they were going, the way they were sounding, and the way Enyimba sold
the way they bought
let some players go
during the summer.
Yeah, we're thinking, okay, yes, this will be the season where they will challenge Enyimba. We didn't even pay attention to the fact that they've not even survived talk more of challenging for the title. It looks very early based on investments, and I would still advise they hold on a little bit. You can't just throw away the coach now, and whoever comes in will start again, and it's not his players. Whoever wants to replace Imama now. These are players that were brought in by Imama to fit into his own style of play. Different names from the goalkeeping position. He was not even in goal yesterday, talking about Dari Ujo, down to the defense now, and the midfield and the other, Nzube and Nezemba, Max Nujuba and the other. So I think for me, it might still be a little bit early. Maybe give him one game. An ultimatum wouldn't be too bad if 3 or 4 matches. So, okay, if you don't get it in 2 games or 3 games, then we can start thinking elsewhere. But it's been a very poor start for Imama Pakabo. I'm beginning to believe that the MPFL players do not understand his tactics.
But he won the league with Rangers.
That was before he said they don't understand his tactics.
Before they stopped.
Coach Fabio, I don't know. Which club do you support in the MPFL? You're from Akwa Ibom State, I guess.
Yeah, from Akwa Ibom State.
Is that Akwa United or Dakada? Which of them do you support?
But I reside here in Port Harcourt.
Sure.
So definitely I really watch Rivers United. I really go to Rivers United.
Okay, have you been impressed with what Rivers United have done so far in the league?
Yes, I've been impressed. 3 good matches and 3 wins and lost 1 yesterday.
Yes, before losing yesterday.
Consider their first goal of the season yesterday.
Yes.
All right, so Guma is doing quite well. Unfortunately, things didn't go down well with them yesterday. But another fixture that should give us some talking points is the one involving Kano Pillars and Plateau United. Pillars won that one by a goal to nothing. Pillars are equally doing quite well this season, right?
Yeah, they are. And, well, that's what we would expect of Pillars. They've always been in and around the mix, at least for the past decade or so. So I don't think it's anything surprising. Plateau United themselves didn't start quite nicely. Remember the shenanigans that happened in that team, the cutting of or threatening cuts of salaries and all of that. But in the end, it's one loss that doesn't mean so much for Plateau United because anybody could have lost to Kano Pillars at home. So for me, I wouldn't take it as too much. The league is quite a long stretch, so anything could happen. At least Plateau United could also revel in the fact that they got a point away from home the last time they played Wiki Tourist. So things could change as the league goes on. All right,
let's quickly look at the table as things stand after match day 4. Rivers United are still top despite losing to Wiki Tourist yesterday. They have 9 points from a possible 12. In second place is Rangers. Rangers have got 9 points as well, 3 wins and 1 defeat. And in third place we have Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars are unbeaten this season. They are unbeaten, yes. They are without a defeat. Okay, yes, they are third on the log with 8 points. And in fourth place we have Nasarawa United. Nasarawa United, very impressive team so far this season with 8 points as well from 4 matches. Let's look at the rear, the last 4 teams that will be relegated if the season ends today. But luckily for them, the season will not end today. FC Fanyoba have got 3 points. They are 17th on the log. Heartland FC, despite their first win of the season against Enyimba, they are 18th on the log. They have 3 points. And of course, in 19th spot, we have Adamawa United with 2 points. And wait for this, Abia Warriors, 0 points from 4 matches. Amazing stuff right there. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be throwing the phone lines wide open for you to have your say this afternoon on the show. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after this time out.
Obiakpor Local Government Area, under the chairmanship of Honorable Prince Solomon Abel Eke, and in collaboration with Bethel Evidence Assembly, is organizing a 4-day intensive free skills acquisition training program. At the end of the training, startup packs will be given to participants of the trainings. Areas of trainings include bead making, snacks production, ice cream production, catering, makeup, computer training, liquid soap making, hand sanitizer production. Date, from Wednesday 13th of January to Sunday 17th January 2020. Time, 2 p.m. daily. Venue, Eche Hall, AK Royal Family Palace Junction, Woji Town, Port Harcourt. For inquiries, call 0706 166 5959 or 0706 775 5402. This is powered by Honorable Prince Solomon Abel AK, JP, Chairman, Obiakpo Local Government Area, and organized by Bishop Uche Juliet Ajirisen, PhD, aka Jesus Baby 1, Special Advisor on Human Capacity Development, Obiakpo Local Government Area, and General Overseer, Bethel Evidence Assembly.
No matter the stage, there's still room for greatness.
All right, welcome back. The show is still Today Sports Live, reaching you from the studios of your premium news talk and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. And Mekadena leading proceedings here. And of course, I've got the Superman in the building, as well as the Chief Justice of Sports, Chidubem Njoko. Not forgetting Coach Babio Utibe, the Chief Coach of Niladan Football Academy. They have a screening program coming up next week, Monday precisely. Yes, and he's spoken to us quite a lot about the program. We'll still give you more information regarding that. But in the meantime, let's go to the phone lines to hear from you so far. What do you make of what we've talked about on the show this afternoon? 0817 0000951, 0810 9510 951. Those are the numbers to call, and you'll be live on the show. Alternatively, you can send us messages via text or WhatsApp to 07019339962. Okay, let's go to the phone lines and hear from our first caller. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, Simon, good afternoon to you.
Thank you. I want to congratulate my friend, Robina, for winning yesterday. It's a game of football. I accepted. I don't want to give any.
Okay, Obina from Oras, the diehard Heartland man.
Yes, the truth is that they were better yesterday. But that one doesn't mean that at the end of the season again, they will still
struggle for their lives.
Relegation.
All right, thank you so much, Simon. Let's go to another caller. Hello. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live. Your name and your location?
Well, I'm from Malawi.
Okay, let's hear you. Go ahead. I'm struggling to hear you. Really sorry about that. I had to let you go. Let's hear from another caller. Do well to call us back if you can. The line's not clear at all there. Let's hear from another caller. Hello.
Rebecca, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Eto. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. This is Aqua United Football Fan Chairman, River Chapter.
Self-acclaimed, eh? Self-acclaimed Aqua United Football Club River Chairman. Self-acclaimed.
Yes. No, it's reality.
No, it's not official. It's not official.
When I was elected, you were not here.
Where they elect you?
I would like to tell you.
For instance, your mind there. Go ahead, Eto. Go ahead, Eto. Eto, your team Aqua United got a draw.
We are not happy about that, but no problem. We take the 1 point. As for the coach, I know him. I know the academy. I know his boys. I know how to play. We normally play ball together at the corner field there.
Okay.
I know his office over there, the first floor there. I know them. So they are doing good. Those guys, those small boys, they are doing great.
All right.
So at least they better find 1 Saturday, come and see online. This
no, I will come. They are doing a good job. I'll definitely be there to monitor things myself. Coach Utibe, Eto says he knows you, that you guys play good football there. You are receiving rave commendations already. Let's have another caller. Hello.
Simon.
Okay, Simon. What did you forget?
About Imama Amakakabo.
Amakakabo.
He's not just a bad guy, but he said something that our local player doesn't know how to interpret titles. And at the end of the day, he took the job. So I think they can even mess him up because of that statement. Thank you.
All right. I don't think that's actually the case. I don't think that was the case, because I spoke to a lot of those players that they bought. They said the reason they are going to Abia is because of Imama. They respect him quite a lot, and I mean, I think it was quoted out of context.
But the internet never forgets.
Yes. But I mean. Well, let's leave that and shift our attention quickly to Europe. We won't be taking your calls for now. Let's shift our attention to Europe. And we can inform you that former Manchester United defender Gary Pallister says the outcome of Super Sunday against Liverpool at Anfield would give a best idea of United's title challenge. Manchester United sit top of the Premier League table, 3 points of defending champions Liverpool after a 1-0 win at Turf Moor. Now, Pallister, who scored twice the last time Manchester United and Liverpool faced each other as Premier League top two clubs, believes a win on Sunday will send a strong message about United's title challenge. Let's hear from him.
Club like Manchester United should be up there challenging most seasons. And what we've seen since Alex left hasn't been great. I don't think we played particularly exciting football, the brand of football that we'd expect from Manchester United. But I think that's something Ollie's tried to bring to the fore since he's came into the club. And as I say, we're reaping them rewards right now. There's a confidence through the team. I'm not saying they're going to win the title. I think Liverpool and Manchester City are still going to have a say in the title race. This is why it sets up for such a big game on Sunday. If you can beat Liverpool on their patch, that would send out a real message.
All right, another ex-United player who won 3 league titles with the club, Dwight York, believes a win on Sunday will show everyone United are real title contenders.
They have gone through a little sticky period, and that's part and parcel. They've been tested. I think the challenge now is that United have gone top. They have been hunted now in terms of the other Premier Leagues are chasing them. Can they now sustain it? Can they have that belief to say, right, we are in this position now, can we just carry on in that form? It will be tested. There's no tougher place to go at Anfield, and certainly trying to get that result. So that will be a real testing time for certainly Man United and Ollie and the boys at this point in time. But we will see what they're really made of, being top of the Premier League. Can they now go on that extra step that we are hoping that they can do?
All right, he heard from Dwight York right there. He says, getting a win against Liverpool will really show everyone that United are really title contenders. Guys, is that the feeling for you too?
Well, yes, Emeka, I must say that Manchester United have really, for the first time, since Alex Ferguson left, that he's in top of the table position, and it's something for that calls for some level of happiness and joy for the fans, and of course what they would do on Sunday would be really important. This team has actually moved on, or they have moved on, considering the same team that lost to Arsenal on November 1st by a goal to nothing. So we would see the players they have, the coaching, the tactics of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be tested when you come up against a coach who I feel is 10 years ahead of his time, talking about Jurgen Klopp, and of course his Liverpool side, a star-studded side that could come out all out at you, especially when it comes to the attack. They have their own issues with their defense, but I tell you, Liverpool is a monstrous beast as a team to actually face anytime, any day, and that's the best place to tell the world that yes, we have come to stay, and it's not just a fluke that we're topping the table. Everybody's eyes will be looking forward to what would happen on Sunday. Is it just a fluke or a sign to tell us that Manchester United of Alex Ferguson are back?
All right, 2 matches yesterday in the Premier League. Manchester City defeated Brighton and Hove Albion by a goal to nothing, and Tottenham Hotspur drew 1-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with Fulham. That one ending in a 1-1 draw. Disappointing as it were for the Spurs side. They had the opportunity of closing the gap in the top right there, but somehow they let it they blew that one. Later today, by 9 p.m. Nigerian time, Arsenal will be up against Crystal Palace. Arsenal are currently a team with the momentum, right? You expect them to get this one against Palace?
It's going to be tough, but like you said, they are a team riding the crest of a wave, so you would expect that they should get all 3 points against Crystal Palace. But come on, when you've got Eberechi and Wilfred Zaha, who are in their elements, it's going to be really difficult for Arsenal. It's always been a difficult game for Arsenal against Crystal Palace, but hopefully the fans would cherish or hope on the wave of good lucks they've been having in recent times to get one over the Palace side. But Emeka, just to talk about the City side, the Citizens, they've been creeping up quite nicely. And where they are right now, I just thought they're third behind Liverpool and Manchester United. And they've got a game in hand. They've got 32 points behind Manchester United. And if they win that game in hand, it's going to be just 1 point disparity between themselves and Manchester United. I'm saying this because this league has started at a very slow pace. And it feels like the big boys are beginning to get into their element.
Yeah,
Manchester
exactly.
City and Liverpool. So Manchester United will need to do much more than just a few good results to be able to win the league this season. And that's why that game against Liverpool is a huge test of their character. If they get that one, huge boost to them. But I think it's still a long time. We've not even gotten to the half mark of the season. We are close to it. 17 games played so far. If it gets to probably the 30th game or the 25th, we can have a clearer picture of who's going to win the league. But so far, as it is right now, it's really difficult to call.
All right, Coach Ukpabio Tibe, do you think United can get it right against Liverpool on Sunday? How do you see that one ending? The Super Sunday fixture.
Well, Manchester United, I believe they will do better. But when you check on what Johan Klopp is doing at hand right now, he's been playing a very good attacking football, especially from the flank area. They have been scoring good goals. Mane has been getting goals. Salah has been getting goals. And even Firmino and even the Minamino that is coming in. So I really see that game will be very difficult for Manchester United.
All right. Okay, we'll wait and see how that one eventually pans out. Let's shift our attention to Spain right away. Okay, we can let you know that Barcelona have advanced to the Spanish Super Cup final after beating Real Sociedad 3-2 in the penalty shootout following 1-1 draw after extra time. Superman, Barca through to the final. Duly expected?
Of course, even though we never expected it to be a rosy move, and it wasn't at all. They had to take extra time for them to get through against Real Sociedad. Sociedad have been brilliant, to say the least, this season. David Silva and the likes have made that team a formidable side. So we look forward. It tells you that maybe January they could get that final player, that final one piece of the puzzle that could complete it for the man, Ronald Koeman, and we could be looking at a stronger Barcelona going forward.
All right, elsewhere in Germany, a little team known as Holstein Kiel defeated Bayern Munich, threw them out of the German DFB Pokal. Beat them, yes. They are no longer going to defend their title. Remember, they won a treble. The DFB Pokal was one of them, and they've been knocked out by the Holstein Kiel side. What do you make of their surprise defeat, Chidibim?
They rested quite a few players, but even with the players rested, I mean, it's Bayern Munich, and even the players they filed out could get the job done against any team. Basically, most teams in Europe, as a matter of fact. But it's worrisome because it's now consecutive losses for Bayern Munich. Remember the last time they lost against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the German Bundesliga by 3-2, and it calls for worry because at this point you would expect that this kind of runs can dampen the morale of the team, and if it happens that way, they go on to lose one more game. It might just what Hansi Flick has been able to do to that side. So I hope it doesn't happen. We at this point, we'll be hoping on the experienced players in that team to be able to drag them out of these murky waters that they find themselves right now. But I think when they get back to the league, they should be able to get the job done and get back to the Bayern we used to know.
All right, Superman, Pochettino wins his first trophy with PSG. Which trophy is that?
The Trophy des Champions. That's how they pronounce it. A Trophy des Champions, if you're an English person. But yes, it's
what do you do to win that kind of trophy?
Well, you have to. They have to play. Now, they beat Marseille. Yes, they beat Marseille to actually win this one. Murray, Icardi, and Neymar. It's a good one for Pochettino that in 3 games you have tasted a trophy. You couldn't do all that in all his time at Tottenham. He couldn't do that as a coach. But he's returned to where he succeeded as a player. And he, at least he's telling the fans, okay, we're going to do something serious this season. But this is not what they are looking at. They're looking at you maintaining your stay in the league and winning the Champions League. I think that's where everybody's eyes would be on. But for Pochettino, confidence booster, you want to say?
Confidence booster for Mauricio Pochettino and his PSG side. They claim their first title of the season, as it were. Let's quickly go to the phone lines right now to get more reactions from you guys. The Super Sunday clash between Manchester United and Liverpool. Will it decide the title in the Premier League this season? We definitely want to hear from you because former United players Gary Pallister and Dwight York. Remember Dwight York and Andy Cole back then? Their partnership was massive, to say the least, up front for United. They believe so. If United wins the Super Sunday clash against Liverpool, it will tell everyone that they are ready to win the league title. Do you agree with them? 0817 000951, 0810 9510 951. 5-1. Talk to us about Pochettino, about Bayern Munich's elimination and Barcelona. Hello.
Emeka Chama, go back. As for me, you are asking a question whereby you have already know the answer. So maybe that question is just for the formality.
Which question is that?
Between Manchester United and Liverpool. Because you know that Liverpool is going to thrash Manchester United.
I don't know, honestly.
Have you watched the game?
All right, thank you so much, Eto. Let's go to another caller. Hello.
Hello, good day.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Sports Live.
Welcome. I'm Obona calling from Port Harcourt.
Obona, let's hear you.
I think about the match on Sunday. Liverpool, man, as much as I'm a Liverpool fan, I think that's a tricky match. Man United want to rest back, absorb the pressure, and treat us on a counter. So it's a 50-50. If you ask me, I think it's a 50-50.
All right.
Liverpool.
All right, sorry about that. I thought you were done with your thoughts. So let's go to another caller. Hello. All right, sorry we lost that one. Do well to call us back if you can. Alternatively, send us your messages via text or WhatsApp. Let's go there now and get your reactions from the other platforms. Chidubim.
All right, Chidi from Port Harcourt is saying the Nazi Millionaires are back and we are coming to Port Harcourt on Sunday. Okay, this was an old one for 3 points. That eventually happened, but okay, not an old one.
No, they are playing this Sunday. Rivers United will host Atlantis.
He said they are coming to Port Harcourt on Sunday for the 3 points. We believe in the special one, Fidelis Ilechukwu. Okay, they believe it's beginning to come again. Superman Wisdom, I always love your flow. I want to give you my sister to marry.
Can you imagine? Oh.
I'm so attached to this station because of you. Hell, Wisdom, you have a fan officially. Unfortunately, he didn't tell us his name. Max from my one to Coach Otibe. I love to see you guys play again at Lagos Stadium. Please, where is your captain? I would love to see him. He's a very good defender. Hope to see him on Monday. And okay, this one says Emeka and the crew. Good afternoon. Please, what team is Rangers playing next? They are playing against MFM FC at the Agege Stadium. And finally, this one says, Coach Imama don't forehand. If you ask him why you lost 4 games in a row, he will tell you that it is the will of God.
All right. Let's hear from this caller. Hello.
Everybody in the studio.
Baby, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Yes. Atlant won one game and nobody hear what again.
They beat the Yimba now. They beat team where big pass them.
Nobody hear what again. No one. They went there for Port Harcourt.
Now 3-0 they will collect here.
Man U Liverpool. Man U are on the top and we cannot hear what again. No problem. You know we have what they call caretaker committee chairman in Nigeria.
It's okay.
That is what they are doing.
Yo, hold on, small. Very soon you will come down there.
And you know, Man U have not been able to beat any of the big side this season. You will still continue. Chop knuckle.
Thank you so much, BB, for your thoughts there. And then before we wrap things up here, of course, Coach Utibe, quickly, last one from you before we go.
Okay.
I said last one from you regarding the upcoming screening program.
Yeah, we are really looking at getting them perfectly, at least seeing the numbers we can get out there, organize a very good exercise for them on that day and even throughout the weeks that will run through for the screening, and then select the best talent among them and then keep them and nurture them for the future.
And of course, some of them could be on their way to Europe to play professional football. Right there. The partnership with Benfica is anything to go by. Thank you so much, Coach Okpabio Utibe. He's the head coach of Niladan Football Academy. They have a program coming up, a screening exercise coming up on 18th through the 22nd of this month. It will be going down at the Koronodo Community School, Roma Hall. Okay, and you can contact them on 070 3229 5480. That's 070 3229 5480 for further details if you want to be part of the program. You can, as you can hear from callers and people who have been sending in messages, this academy, they are doing wonderfully well. They play good football and it's better to catch them young at that age. Superman, thank you so much, and thank you as well to Chidubim. But for you out there, the biggest thanks goes to you for being a part of the show. We'll be back same time tomorrow for yet another exciting edition of the show. Until then, have yourselves a wonderful evening and keep it locked on this dial. Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Morakozi.
they cry now?
This corona don't make them come on my husband for work. Nah, no job. No money to even open business. Rents don't expire. Now school don't even open. To chop na even wahala. Wetin I go do?
My sister, make I tell you about one ogbonge company wey don waka come Port Harcourt. They go help you settle all your basic needs quick. Their name na Next Gen Synergy. Them don't come to help people to pay rent, start new business, pay school fees, even plan wedding.
Ah, thank God oh.
Wetin you need? Wetin be that your project? We go help you reduce the cost of your project by 25% in 3 months, 50% in 6 months, 75% in 1 year.
How much it do am?
For more information, green their telephone for 0703 354 3174, 0703 354 3174, or 0901 064 2536. Waka enter their office for number 3 Agudama Street, T Line, Port Harcourt. Now Next Gen Media and Infotech power am.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson. The family of Priest Obunda, who has been missing since November last year after his arrest by the local vigilante group OSPAC in Igruta, Ikure local government area, have asked the Rivers State Police Command to intensify their investigation on the matter. Mother and wife of the missing prince said the family have refused to come to terms with the possibility that their son may have died. They appeal to the authorities to ensure that all those involved in the predicament of their son should be brought to book.
2020 shot my son. So as he shot my son, since then we have never saw my son. We are looking to find my son, no way. So now the chief being waken came carry chief, then came to our house. Tell my husband he should sorry. My husband said no. I wanted to see my son. If they have kill him, let them bring the dead body. If they never kill him, let them give me so that I will treat him. Let them bring him. So since then, no way.
I want the police to help me. I know that already the OSPAC member has been arrested, but I want the police to help me in search of my husband. I want to see my husband if he's alive or he's dead. I have 4 children. I can't be able to begin to hustle for these children or become a widow in this earlier time. The government should help me. They should help me and get being the OSPAC commander of Igruta OSPAC, because he is the one that will know where my husband is.
On his part, Goodluck Ogbunda, who is the younger brother to the missing promise, also appealed to the police to invite the paramount ruler of Igruta and others to answer the petition against them.
We want the police to intensify their efforts in arresting Promise Nnawele and others who are still OSPAC members, who are principal parties to this crime, who committed this crime, Promise Nnawele. We want the police to intensify their efforts in arresting him. We want the police to actually reinvite. We are aware that the police have earlier before now invited the Royal Highness, which he has refused to honor the police invitation up to date. We want the police to reinvite the Royal Highness. He should come and explain to the police.
The Rivers State Police Command in a joint operation raided OSPAC office in Igruta last weekend, leading to the arrest of 3 suspects. The Rivers State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists has raised alarm over an unsuccessful assassination attempt on the life of one of its members, Segun Owolabi. Owolabi, who is the business manager of Silverbird Rhythm 93.7 FM station, escaped attacks on Monday night when a group of people suspected to be murderers stormed his house in Port Harcourt. NUJ, in a statement signed by the state chairman, Stanley Job Stanley, Secretary Ike Wigodo, urged the security agents in the state to ensure that the assassination attempt on Owolabi is thoroughly investigated and the culprits brought to book. The union expressed worry over the resurgence of insecurity in the state and called on the relevant security agencies to be proactive towards tackling the menace. The statement further urged the state government and security agencies to work closely to secure the lives of citizens living and doing business in the state. A lady whose identity is yet to be made known has been shot by suspected armed robbers around Ajib Junction in Ikwere Road, Mile 4, Obiakwa local government area of Rivers State. Our correspondent gathered that unknown gunmen ambushed their target in front of the public toilet close to Rivers State's College of Health Science and Management Technology in Port Harcourt. President of the Student Union Government of the institution, Thank God Igwe, in an interview with our correspondent, said they heard gunshots, which prompted them to scamper for safety, only to see a lady lying helplessly in a pool of her blood. Igwe said they rushed the woman to the school clinic where first aid was administered to her before she was taken to another hospital. The SUG president also suspecting that the refusal of the victim to allow the criminals to rape her would have been responsible for the gunshot. On the foreign scene, a team of experts from the World Health Organization arrived in Wuhan to probe the origin of the coronavirus more than a year after it emerged, as China reported its first death from COVID-19 in 8 months. The 10 scientists landed for their much-delayed mission, met with Chinese officials in hazmat suits and given throat swabs on arrival, and were whisked to a hotel where they must complete a 2-week quarantine before starting their work. The virus was first detected in the central Chinese city of Wuhan in late 2019 and has since spread across the world, killing nearly 2 million people so far, infecting tens of millions, and eviscerating the global economy. The WHO says establishing the pathway of the virus from animals to humans is essential to preventing future outbreaks. But despite painstaking months of negotiations over their remit, the team was blocked from arriving last week, a sign of the political sensitivity of a virus origin story marred by recrimination between nations, conjecture, and denials. Beijing has argued that although Wuhan is where the first cluster of cases was detected, it is not necessarily where the virus originated. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget to take responsibility, wash your hands frequently with soap under running water. Avoid touching your face and high contact surfaces to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Once again, good afternoon. I am Wealth Wilson. Thank you for listening. Do stay tuned as the platform on radio comes up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Fire incidents have become a regular occurrence, with thousands of lives and millions of properties lost every year in this country. Hardly a day passes without news of a fire outbreak in some part of the country, causing fear and panic among the people. Needless to say, we need to remind ourselves of the possibility of an outbreak at any time. This is what is likely to prevent us from being taken by surprise. Always put off appliances when not in use. Do not overload electrical sockets. Fuel your generator before, not when in use. Avoid fixing electrical faults personally when you apparently do not have the skill. Keep the candle on a candle stand.
It takes only a minute for a fire to get out of hand. In case of a fire outbreak, please call the fire service hotline 070-315-221-99. This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race with deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody. Yeah!
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
Stands, greet.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome to Jagbajantis High School. My name is Sound Sultan, your new mathematics teacher. By the way, do you understand Pidgin English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we go use henceforth? Okay, carry your pen. Carry your paper. Them for my class. People of this world, them plenty. The sins of this people, many. So many. Many times plenty, multiplier. Many times plenty, multiplier. Multiply the answer you get now waiting, they make poor man they cry. The answer you get now waiting, they make rich man they mess and leaders they lie. The answer you get now waiting, they make young boys and girls join party gang. Answer you get now waiting, they make innocent man rot inside the jail. Get it, and then agree to grant a bail. Get it, oh. Everybody, join Jagbajantis, make we solve mathematics. We did about our continent, so you both say about mass, we go use takes solve mathematics. So follow Jagbajantis. So ya carry by be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
oh, for objectivity.
Be objective,
D for democracy. Now M for modification
of our behavior, let's stand to the savior.
A, accountability.
If you've been a chop money, I beg you take time easy.
S for solidarity.
Not every time we buy it, oh my share.
We enter new millennium. Nigerians like 120 million. One population of 6 billion.
6 billion.
Divide that 1 by 120 million all together. Oh yeah.
All together.
The answer you get now waiting, they make people they jar. Come on for Niger. Answer you get now waiting, they make people want travel. By hook or by crook. The answer you get now waiting, they make people they sleep for embassy, for visa. Answer you get now waiting, they make people they sell the property for ticket. Get it. Then they travel, see. Get it. Oh, hey. Everybody, oh yeah,
join Jagbajantis, we solve mathematics.
We need about our continent, so
you both say about mass,
we go use take
solve mathematics. So follow Jagbajantis.
So ya carry by be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentlemen, ladies.
D for democracy.
No matter how high it is, the better military.
M for modification
of our behavior, let's turn to the savior.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play on the currents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
Yeah! The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
We are bringing our plight, the plight of insecurity on our waterways, the insecurity bedeviling Bonny people as concerns our route, the sea, that the state government should please come to our aid, come to our rescue with one demand that insecurity should be curbed on our waterways, maybe probably in synergy with the federal government, because we know the enormous power the office of the governor carries.
The killing is much. You can't travel on our waterways. We don't have access to LNG boats. That's the only way you're sure of going to Bonny. And for us who do not have such access, we go through the normal public route. And whenever you're scared. We have lost enough of our people. Our fathers are being held captives. They keep raping our women, even when we don't have food to eat. Because even when they try to bring the food there, you understand, they will hijack the boat. So it's not been easy for the Bonny man. No one is having peace. You don't sleep with your eyes closed any longer on the island. You can't even go to the village to see your old parents. So we've said for him. And one of the reasons he promised to give us is security. And I am sure that Bonny is important like every other local government in the state.
Now, there you heard some protesters who are pouring out their frustration about the sea pirates attack they suffer in Bonny. It is 17 minutes gone past 4 o'clock, and I welcome you to another exciting edition of the platform on radio on your premium talk radio station Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Wealth Wilson, and on this show I shall give you insights into some of the news reports making the rounds. Just to clarify all things, the platform on radio is a program where we come to slice of trending issues with correspondent reports, not forgetting that our correspondents are always out there sourcing for these reports from the field. And on this program, we take their reports and have them give us more details. And perhaps on this show, you get to hear what is not entirely in the news. Now, on the menu today, Northern Elders Forum warns against religious intolerance. Rivers State loses out in 123.3 billion naira shed by federal government for states, and Bonny people storm Port Harcourt to protest persistent attacks on their waterways. Let's start off with the issue that has been trending with Coca and the Northern Elders Forum. Now, the Northern Elders Forum has expressed their concern that there may be plans to cause some sort of religious unrest in the country as controversy continued to rage on over the quick notice issued by a Muslim group on the Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Coca. Now, spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, Hakim Baba Ahmed, in his reaction said, there should be no room for religious intolerance in the country. Baba Ahmed said Nigerians should be concerned about their welfare rather than indulge in avoidable actions that would or is capable of distracting us, that's everyone, from the real issues of the country.
And we made a comment that these attempts to pitch us against each other, Muslims and the Christians, are diversionary. They are additions to the many problems that we live under, and that we have no reason to fight each other. We lent our voice as responsible elders to what the government is already alerting Nigerians on, that there are threats to cause mayhem and breakdown of law and order in the country, from many parts of the country, in the north and from the east and other parts of the country. And through the generating, engineering, religious disharmony. And we said, don't fall into that trap. We have enough problems as Nigerians, Muslims and Christians. There's nothing on the ground that threatens Muslims or Christians. We do not believe these two religions are at war. We do not believe that we should go to war. We don't believe that there is a reason why a Muslim and a Christian should.
I wish that were the situation, really. Now, the presidency also faulted the Muslim Solidarity Forum. That was the group that had come out to issue their threats to Coca, declaring that the bishop must be allowed to, they said that the bishop must send an unreserved apology to Muslims. And they gave him an ultimatum. If that doesn't happen, he should leave the state. Well, the presidency, on the other hand, had faulted that particular ultimatum and statement by the Muslim Solidarity Forum over their threats to Coca. They declared that Bishop Coca must be allowed to practice his faith and politics anywhere in Nigeria, describing the stance by the Muslim Solidarity Forum as wrong and not in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, you remember that the Department of State Service, DSS, had issued an alert about plans by some people to incite religious crisis in the country. Now, do we need this kind of issues now in the midst of Nigeria's current situation? From politics to economy, everything is a matter of questioning in this part of the world. So do we need issues of religious divide to come into the mix of the current situation where up till this moment, people still find it hard to feed? When we're talking about this in the afternoon, we're asking the question why we cannot understand that in a place where, such as Nigeria, we're getting to understand the need for religious tolerance is like it's like a 10 paper work or a project work. Then why can't we just learn to, curtail the kind of things that we say and cut it up in a way that it doesn't cause any grievance? And just like the DSS has speculated, this has escalated even more than we expected, isn't it? It's still lingering since December 25th to today. It then means that somehow, somewhere, there could be an underlying plan to use religion as an incident in this part of the world. So should this be the kind of issues and matters that would linger till date, understanding that Nigeria has far more important things that we should worry about and put in place? 0817-00000951 or 0810-9510-951. Those are the numbers you can use to call in. Then if you want to send in a text message or WhatsApp message, please send those to the numbers 0701-9339-962. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome. Elder.
Elder Leland. You see, to me, I think this issue is being overblocked. And it's supposed not to. Because I remember some time ago, Aero5 made a derogatory statement against Christ for the challenge him. Everyone just leave him. If God be God, just like Elijah told his people, if God be God, let us watch and see. So God will prove himself. So it beats my imagination. At the slightest provocation or statement, these are sisters or brothers from the other religion. They will. Do you know that this goes a long way to confirm the theory that the religion appears to be a violent religion? Look at what
religion appears to be what?
France president made. You see how the thing caused a lot of problems. But the man said the fact, and they wanted him to withdraw it. He did not withdraw nothing. The next thing that they issue threat. If the man says so, allow the God to judge him. They want to be the judge. They don't. It's like they don't even think that they are going to be judge. What France president, a powerful president like that, he made such a comment, and they were, So that shows you that this people, as a matter, without missing war, it's a violent religion.
No.
For that.
Elder, I would like to correct an impression. First of all, we have fanatics and extremists of from different divides of religion. We have Christians who are pretty much like, the extremists that we find from the other divide as well. So if you're saying that, then it means that you too are also one-sided in your stance about religious matters. 95.1 FM.
So, Wes.
Heart, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Wes, I want to ask, if Christians and Muslims, they say one in this country.
What did you say? If they are one?
I say Christians and Muslims, they say for war in this country. Are they fighting war against each other in this country?
What would that war be? If there is tension along the divides of religion, yes.
I know why I'm saying this.
I said there is religious tension.
Now, since President Muhammad Buhari coming to power, 2015 to today, 57 years, we experience Muslim against Christians.
That's a very wrong statement. The issue of religion in this country did not just start in the previous administration. Don't say that anywhere else.
Let me tell you. Are you as a journalist? Are you not hearing what is happening in the north?
Heart. Do not say that. You know what? You probably would not want to listen. So let me just move on. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good day, Wes.
You're welcome. What's your name?
This is Commander Lotu calling you from Bayelsa.
You're welcome. Please go on.
Yeah, this Christian and Muslim problem, ordinarily I don't think there is much problem there, but the politicians are trying to create problem when there is no problem. If not, what Father Kuka said, I don't think there is anything wrong there. The question we need to ask ourselves, is Buhari like that?
Now, hold on. Did you just say you don't think there's anything wrong there?
There is nothing wrong there.
Good. How many people do we have in Nigeria?
How many people?
Just an estimate, yes.
Is Father Kuka the first person?
Are you going to hold on and just answer the question? How many persons or how many people do we have in Nigeria? Just a rough estimate. You don't need to get the figures correct.
You have 200 and something million.
Good. So if you think that there is no problem in it, do you think that all 200 and something, as you've said, probably would think the same way? No, it then means that people have different ways in approaching issues. 95.1 FM. Okay, we lost that call. The truth is, I do understand that you are trying to make it look like the one religion is the one, causing the whole issue and all of that. But then when you come up and make it look as though everyone practicing that religion is wrong, then that's where the problem is. It means whether or not we are crying when somebody insults Christians or when somebody insults Jesus, it doesn't change anything. We are still the same people. We are still divided along religious lines. We are still very cautious and sensitive about what they say about our religion or how people say things about our religion. And that's the thing. But I'm not talking about the statement now. I'm asking the question, shouldn't this be treated as though it is a diversion or a distraction from the real issues of Nigeria? Imagine for how long this problem has lasted, when we probably should be talking about how to remove Nigeria from recession, how many persons will be falling into poverty line, and how many persons will be able to take away from that line and employ. That's what I'm asking. Is this not a distraction? 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've called before. The way you moderate, you don't moderate like it. You talk too much. You talk to a lot.
All right. 95.1 FM. Hello. You're welcome.
Good evening, Wes.
Good evening.
Wes, what is this that we have been dragging since afternoon about Kuka's message and what happened?
Because it's getting more reactions by the minute.
We are the one looking at it as if the thing is getting more reactions now, and even the way you attend to your callers. It's as if it's something. See, even though we are more than 200 million people in the land, let me tell you, since afternoon I've been listening to you and they try to call yourself, now I have never had one where Muslim people talk this kind of a thing, and the Christian people will now rise up and say, we give you an ultimatum. quit this particular place. And it seems we need to be reasoned with all these things. To me personally, the question we want to be asking is that all those things that this man mentioned, are they true or not? This should be the question. Do you understand this?
When you ask, are they true or not? If they are true to you, does it mean it will be true to the next person listening? It is relative. So if it does not anger you, the statement of the bishop, somebody somewhere picked offense by it. And we cannot overlook that person's feelings because that's someone's religion and that's another person's opinion. So just as much as your opinion on the matter counts, another person's reaction to it does too.
Do you know that this kind of a thing that is happening now? I remember a woman that was killed in Kano in those days. When people were talking, do you know that the way people were responding to it, this kind of comment now, that is what was going on in the media house, that we are inciting this, we are inciting that. See, God will help us in this country because God is not blind. If people are going in one direction and they are trying to overshadow the other people, God knows.
All right then.
Bishop Kuka, I know that God will fight for him. Nobody can even move him because he has never mentioned any name. Hear what the federal government is saying. Hear what the northern elders are saying. Because those people are taking the thing to extreme. So we need to look at this thing proper. Not to. I don't see Bishop Kuka talking against them or say something strange to them because the man is just saying the truth. And then, truth is bitter. And that is just it.
All right, that's entirely your opinion. Thank you very much for that one. Let's read some messages before we move on. This one says, the imaginary friction between Christians and Muslims will be important if we courageously restructured our federation. It is a single magic stroke to moderate effectively in a multi-ethnic society like ours. From Amadi David in Rumo Kwarali. This one says, Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them. Fanaticism is even manifesting in calls now. Some people are trying to instigate crisis in Nigeria. And the sad part is that because it is their opinion, they do feel that no other person is entitled to theirs. Sad truth. All right, this one says, okay, we're not talking about that now, Moses. Let's quickly go pay some bills. When we come back, we will start talking about the Bonny protests, the issue of sea pirates who have been making life and livelihood difficult for people within that area.
Welcome to Returns Market Investment Nigeria Limited, a financial home that has impacted life and meaning to many lives, homes, and companies with values using strictly the international capital trade market business for the past years and still counting in Nigeria. Returns Market Investment Nigeria Limited has succeeded in delivering prompt and reliable 10% monthly returns on investments for investors with a minimum startup capital of 300,000 naira only and a maximum capital of 100 million naira only. If you're looking for assured and reliable security for your funds and consistent delivery of returns on investment, think Returns Market Investments Nigeria Limited. Contact our office today at Returns House number 33B, Rumola Stadium Link Road, after NMPC Filling Station, Rumola, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, or call us on 0815-518-9002 or visit www.returnsinvestmentsnigerialimited.com. Choose financial freedom. Choose Returns Market Investments Nigeria Limited.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
All right, welcome back. Still on the platform, some concerned youths from Bonny local government area of Rivers State have protested to the government house in Port Harcourt to demand for government intervention to incidents of sea piracy, kidnapping and killings along the waterways. One of the leaders of the protesters, Bernard Pepple, who addressed newsmen at the scene of the protest, lamented the killings of their kinsmen. Bernard Pepple expressed concern that the insecurity in Bonny waterways appears to be beyond the local government chairman. Also speaking, Ferroboma, who spoke on behalf of the female protesters, complained that women regularly get molested by the pirates in the course of these attacks. Let's listen to them.
We are bringing our plight, the plight of insecurity on our waterways, the insecurity bedeviling Bonny people as concerns our route, the sea, that the state government should please come to our aid, come to our rescue with one demand that insecurity should be curbed on our waterways, maybe probably in synergy with the federal government, because we know the enormous power the office of the governor carries.
The killing is much. You can't travel on our waterways. We don't have access to LNG boats. That's the only way you're sure of going to Bonny. And for us who do not have such access, we go through the normal public route. And whenever you're scared. We have lost enough of our people. Our fathers are being held captive. They keep raping our women, even when we don't have food to eat. Because even when they try to bring the food there, you understand, they will hijack the boat. So it's not been easy for the Bonny man. No one is having peace. You don't sleep with your eyes closed any longer on the island. You can't even go to the village to see your old parents. So we've said for him. And one of the reasons he promised to give us is security. And I am sure that Bonny is important like every other local government in the state.
Now, Commissioner for Youth Development, Prince Ohia, who received the protest letter, promised to deliver same to the governor for urgent intervention.
A lot of your women have been raped, is that also? You are saying that a lot of persons have been killed, is that also? You are saying that 5 of your chiefs or traditional rulers have been held hostage or captive. Is that also? And you want them to be released unconditionally, is that also? One question for all of you. Do you trust your governor? Okay, now I have seen all you have presented here. I want to give you an assurance. This thing will get to the governor today. And the governor will liaise with all relevant stakeholders to ensure that these things are being looked into. Go back home, be rest assured that your governor will swing into action in ensuring that you have your right to live and freedom of movement.
Now, Rivers State House of Assembly has pledged their commitment to curb the sea piracy attacks and other criminal activities on Bonny waterways in Bonny local government area of the state. Responding to the protesters, the member representing Ogba-Igwe-Mandoni Constituency 1, Christian Ahiaku, who received the protesters on behalf of the Speaker, assured that the House will pay urgent attention to the plight of the people.
What Bonny Kingdom is passing through today, we had it 2 years ago in Ogba-Igwe-Mandoni local government area. And we rose to the occasion. And I want to tell you that today, that area is one of the best areas you can go and sleep and have rest of mind. I have been to my Bonny. I have accompanied my colleague 3 times to Bonny. So I want to tell you that your matter will be addressed the way it is. But I want to tell you that what you see today will definitely come to an end. Bonny Kingdom will not go down. Rather, miscreant will go down. So on behalf of the Speaker, I want to receive you and to assure you the support of the Rivers State House of Assembly. We will not rest on our oars until this injustice on Bonny people is brought to book.
All right. Well, it would interest you to know that over 20 persons have been killed as a result of sea piracy on the Bonny waterways between 2017 and 2020. Now, in the course of Governor Nyesom Wike's first tenure, he donated gunboats to the security agencies, but it seems like absolutely nothing has changed. So what is the fate of sea travelers in all of this? You know, I think it was yesterday when we talked about the issue in Bonny. They had staged the protest earlier there and now here in Port Harcourt. And we asked the question, would we ever see an end to, you know, young persons or miscreants who would, out of their pursuit to be heard, chase investors and also affect the livelihood of people, indigents from that area as well, and when it will change? Today we're asking the same question. Do you think that with all that is being done enough is yet? Do you think that that's enough, or there is more to be done by whether the local, state government, and even House of Representative members? Do you think that in the nearest future there would be a turnaround situation of persons who constitute nuisance that chase away not just investors but also affect indigents of the area? Let's get to hear from you now. Okay, we're having issues with the phone line, so just give me a second or two so we can fix that up. But the numbers to call, if you want to call in, 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. Please send in your messages to the number 0701 9339 962. .1 FM.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, wife.
Yes, Hart, you're welcome.
Well, you know that we have a Minister of Transportation coming from River State here. As a Minister of Transportation, all the state security and waterways is supposed to put security. And this is I think this is the second tenure he became Minister of Transportation under this government. All this complaint, all this problem on waterways, why not the Minister of Transportation be serious to put security on? If it is not, but they're serious. And if a politician, you have to play politics for the betterment of their people. For where you come from, home you come from. Very, very important. Thank you.
All right, so the minister should also intervene and is to ameliorate the issue going on within the area. Sincerest apologies, this is getting really tiring at this point, but then we'll keep trying so we can take your calls. 95.1 FM.
I agree. West, is it West?
Yes, please.
I am Prince calling you from Obluma.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, body people should take it easy. We know it's not easy. But if I should ask, I remember like 2 times like that, twice the governor donated a gunboat.
Yes,
on that
he did donate some gunboats, but then was it enough?
Where is those one gunboat in the first place?
The gunboats are still being used, but the problem is a lot of the security agencies are overshadowed sometimes.
That gunboat.
What?
Well, 2 times. How many gunboats does it donated that time? It's all right. Now, listen. Security, whether waterways or upland, federal government is a obligation of a federal government. Somebody mentioned transportation minister. Transportation minister is not a minister of Rivers, it's a minister of ADC, to the best of my knowledge. If I wish it's a minister of Nigeria, I believe by now waterways would have been another its own priority, and not only railway, railway, all those inconclusive work of former administration, Jonathan. That is the one transportation minister is busy completing the work. It's good for him to complete the work, but what about the waterways? Where the oil, the kerosene, the crude oil and go coming, the real wealth of Nigeria is coming out from that area. He cannot tackle that area. They only tackle Benin Republic Road and the Chad.
Well, if you are to defend the federal government on that one, you would remember that security votes are being given states, isn't it?
Yes.
So shouldn't those security votes be used now?
The security vote is being given. The governor of the state donated the gun vote to them too. That one is part of the security, and also and some of the operations in this in Hilos. So what else do you want him to do? Twice like that. What? Okay, do you expect him to carry guns, go to Bonnie, seaport, ocean, and begin to change those?
All right, Anthony. Thank you for your contribution. Let's listen to some other person now that we have the phone lines working. 95.1 FM.
Lady Wells, greetings.
Good evening, Lawson. You're welcome.
Yes, greetings. Well done. You're doing well on the saddle there. People, I don't know, honestly. I just wonder at times. You understand why internal security? See, when you finish the program, go back and check the amount of security votes Rivers State Governor has collected. Take time. You would find it difficult to check to know. You understand? Just check. You will see how much he has received. I am telling you, if you see it, you put your hand on your head. Security votes that Rivers State Governor has collected. And the funny people are here shouting. You are talking about one gun vote. It's not the Ivans are here. These things are done by the same people. They are all people. Most of these are waterways. See, let me tell you, the German, he follows water. The German knows water so much. The German follows water down to Cameroon, to Gabon, to everywhere. So long as it is water, and that's why everywhere around water area, you find the German. He follows, if you go to Lagos, you go to Benin, those water areas are all occupied by job people. And these same people doing these things to their fellow job people. Now, if I answer here, you understand that the governor made some arrangements. Still, if you want to counter these boys, look for other boys that are equally as tough as them, that are ready to, you understand, abide by the law and follow the law. We have what we call Bayelsa volunteer. You understand? They know the waterways. You bring people who know the waterways. We also have Bayelsa vigilante. These are boys that I am telling you, they are fierce. Those are the kind of people you are, not the police. The police cannot, even the military. At best, some of them, I don't know, may even take bribes. Look for boys. I told you yesterday what the deputy governor did in Rivers and Bayelsa. When these same Prestige pirates, they do all kinds of things. I wonder why they do it.
All right, then.
So get those boys. And I am telling you, all of these things will end if the governor wants to truly handle it. He can handle the office of the governor is not a small thing in a state. Governor is like an emperor in a state. If he wants to catch anybody, you understand, he will catch them. I am telling you as early as tomorrow. You understand? He will catch them if he wants to catch anybody. So the time has come for the governor to step up to the plate and make sure that these waterways are secured.
All right,
you can't even go fishing. You can't do anything. The women that goes to the waterway, you need to see what they do to the kind of molestation they face.
All right, thank you,
I think it's time for the governor to now do something with those security votes he has been receiving.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your contribution. This message says the Bonny people has a majority role to play in the minimizing of insecurity along their waterways. They should emulate and possibly replicate the indigenous OSPAC security model, which has proven effective in restoring calm in most local government areas where it's operational, like Obiakpo, Eche, Onelga, Hoda, Tai, Opobo, etc. Amadi David, thank you very much for your contribution there. Let's take one or two more calls and then we move on. 95.1 FM. Good evening. You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Felix.
You're welcome, Felix.
Yeah. This issue of Bonnie away is really heart touching. You understand? But somehow I blame our security personnel. You understand? I blame our security personnel. And sometimes I blame the local government chairman. You understand what I'm saying? Now, just like the House member, Christian Ahako, Bishon Oneg, I'm from Oneg. You understand? There is a security, there is hospital in Oneg now, and that has brought peace to that LGA. Why not the local government chairman do something? Or is it that they have a local government chairman? Is it that they don't have feeling for their people? Let's forget about politics over this issue. We're talking about you are talking about life here. You understand me? And then the issue of security business that that I said to. Just take for instance what we see in our upland road here. We don't gone even the operation stink, the vehicles that the governor donated. What are they using it for? They're using it to collect money from motorists, from Keke drivers. That is what they're using it for. So if the LGA chairman to do something, he should rise to the occasion and probably organize, just like Lonson said, organize these boys from, because these people, the boys that are doing this parade, they are from the same body. You understand? They are from the same body. So they know themselves. All you just need to do, which on Egadi, so bring those boys from the community to encounter them. When you create local government, was not part, was not go area. What did the chairman do? He brought the same boys from the LGA which this problem headlong. So I am calling on the chairman of Bonny local government that should rise to the occasion and bring boys from that same community. Because if you bring, is it all policemen or navy or army that knows how to swim? So give this, empower these boys. You will see that from now till the end of the tenure, you will not hear about separation.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Hopefully the local government chairman, not just the local government chairman, the state government as well as House of Representative members, come to the realization that it's about time we started working on issues like this that would likely scare away investors from our local government, and that's not good for the state in general. Now, Rivers State has again lost out on benefiting from the state's fiscal transparency, accountability and sustainability program for results of the federal government. Now, this is as the federal government disbursed 123.3 billion naira to states under its state's fiscal transparency, accountability and sustainability program for results. Now, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed disclosed this in a statement signed by the minister's Director of Press and Public Relations, Hassan Dodo. The finance minister explained that the disbursement followed the achievement of results by the states in the just concluded 2019 annual performance assessment. Ahmed said the disbursement included 91.048 billion naira of performance-based grants for the 2019 APA results achieved by the 32 eligible states across various disbursement-linked indicators covering fiscal transparency, accountability, expenditure efficiency, revenue mobilization, and debt sustainability. Now, states received grants in line with the number of results achieved. Sokoto State received the highest amount of 6.612 billion naira, while Kano State got the lowest amount of 1.710 billion naira. Bayelsa, Imo, Zamfara, and Rivers State got zero allocation due to their inability to meet the 2019 eligibility criteria, which required states to publish online approved annual budgets and audited financial statements within a specific time frame. Now, you would recall that about 67 billion naira COVID-19 support fund was distributed among 35 states, but Rivers was the only state left out because of lack of fiscal responsibility. Now, the same thing has just happened because Rivers State did not meet the needed requirement or the deadline to benefit from the fund. So, do those things not affect how international organizations and other institutions perceive Rivers State in terms of accountability? And should this not bother the governor? Let's get to hear from you now. 0817-000951 or 0810-9510-951. Text messages, WhatsApp messages to the number 0701 9339 962. 95.1 FM. Hello?
Well.
Yes, Mascot.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, you're welcome.
You see, I believe that report 101%. This is non-partisan and non-affiliation to any political party. If a state like Sokoto, that even the APC regard the governor as a traitor, who becomes, when they needed him most, could get the highest allocation because of fiscal transparency, it means that the database used in measuring transparency and fiscal responsibility by the Ministry of Finance is upright and meets international standards.
But Mascot, you know, they also mentioned that part of this would be, you know, part of the criteria they followed was expenditure efficiency, revenue mobilization, and debt sustainability. So shouldn't that be part of the reason why Rivers State should at least be? I mean, revenue mobilization. The last time MDS published it, Rivers State came up with a second or third. I can't really remember now.
Look, what is happening here, I don't want to always sound pessimistic, is that there is a one-man show in Rivers State. That is why the APC should come up unified to be a strong opposition in Rivers State, so that the ruling party and the government of the day will be on this show.
All right,
now, what we have is nothing but one-man show, and it's affecting the image of this government, both nationally and internationally.
All right, Mascot.
I believe that report, and it is non-partisan, and it has no bias whatsoever, without fear or intimidation.
All right.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you too. Let's move on to the next caller now. Oh, okay. All right. 95.1 FM. Good evening. Please turn down the volume of your radio.
Yeah, calling from Monega. My name is Kevin Ayako.
You're welcome, Kelvin.
So it's like New Year of this morning. We need to want to tell them they should take it easy. We know that what happened in America, like what our African Assembly said, Kevin Ayako. Because now you can come to America today, you can sleep and wake up with no money, no problem. So we know that we pray for them. Yeah, everything going to be all right. We know that government will make everything better for them, so that everybody will stay fine. Like today in America, now we can sleep in America today. So that's only my contribution this evening. Thank you.
All right. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, here's from HR.
You're welcome, Ezzy. Please go on.
Yes, can I comment on Farakuka's issue?
Yes, quickly, 1 minute.
Yes, these northern Muslims and some group are asking Kuka to leave their place. What if Kuka is from Sokoto State? Is it all the people in Sokoto State that are Muslims? So if Kuka is from Sokoto State and he's a Christian, where will he go to? Eh?
So I guess that's why the presidency...
We have right now to issue ultimatum and send people that are not...
No, we don't have rights to do that. That's why the presidency quickly cleared out that particular issue. I mean, sure, you've been following the story now.
Yes, listen now. You see, whether you like it or not, Islam is a violent religion. You understand?
I won't let you do that. 95.1 FM.
Hello, well.
Good evening.
Hello? Yes, well, you're doing well.
You're welcome, Prince Andy.
Yes. Well, Weekend will not publish anything, and the House of Assembly are not even interested on him publishing anything because it's one-man show. All he does here is he commission a 1 kilometer road. You see people singing praises. That is all he does there. But that is not really the point. I pray he has learned from it and he will do more.
Okay.
In the nearest future. As for Kuka, there are statements they make even as bishops, and they don't know if it's very inciting. I don't know. How can you be say statement that will cause commotion? I just don't, me, I'm not ready for any war. Kuka owes them apology. Let him go be put forward and render apology. Maybe some of them were not told the history of what happened during the Civil War. And that is why people will align themselves with Kuka and say all manner of things they choose to say. I mean, it's not really proper. There are ways, we know indeed that we have Muslims and Christians, and we know so many things are not really going the way it should be. But there are laid down procedures, protocol that you follow and ensure that there is peace in the land. People pray for their land. People wish their land well, and you come up in the name of your bishop and begin to incite, make statement that looks inciting. I mean, to me, it's not acceptable at all. It's not really acceptable. Let you own up and render apology so that there will be peace in the land, because all these things are cooking up crisis in the nearest future, which me and my family are not really part of.
All right, Prince Andy. Thank you.
You.
Thank you for your contribution. I think that would be the last call on the show today. I'll just read this text message. This one says, I am Madison. This is Rivers State, where governance is run as a personal business. And on WhatsApp, let's see, one message there says, good evening, Wealth. We are shouting here that the governor should publish our budgets, but some persons tagged us to be partisan. Wike does not care about transparency and accountability. What we're seeing in Rivers State is a one-man show. Our House of Assembly is rubber stamp Matthew Osamwell from Ikodi Engeni in Ahoda West. All right, the platform has been a production of our news department put together by Victor Isiama. Do not forget to take responsibility, wash your hands frequently with soap under running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Stay safe. I am Wealth Wilson, and the platform will be back same time Monday. Until then, do stay tuned as the Vivian Douglas Show comes up next.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Fire incidents have become a regular occurrence, with thousands of lives and millions of properties lost every year in this country. Hardly a day passes without news of a fire outbreak in some part of the country, causing fear and panic among the people. Needless to say, we need to remind ourselves of the possibility of an outbreak at any time. This is what is likely to prevent us from being taken by surprise. Always put off appliances when not in use. Do not overload electrical sockets. Fuel your generator before, not when in use. Avoid fixing electrical faults personally when you apparently do not have the skill. Keep the candle on a candle stand.
It takes only a minute for a fire to get out of hand. In case of a fire outbreak, please call the fire service hotline 070-315-221-99. This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
You know what? Open that door now. I go match on that. Oh yeah, give me that thing. Come on, give me the phone. Give me that thing. Oh yeah, shoot that police. Go.
Insecurity has become a common factor in our general language within the Nigerian space, no doubt. Not only has it become a threat, it has begun taking diverse dimension we cannot ignore. A solution we seek. A desire to stop the trend is imminent.
Wait up, 2 seconds.
God, hey, Jesus. Straight bullet, though. What kind of country is this? Hey, boy, I just said to go and buy something. What kind of thing is straight bullet from where? I'm finished, though.
Directly or indirectly, we all have lost people,
friends, family, or acquaintances as a result of insecurity. But is security only the job of the government? No. Security is not one man's job alone. Every individual in the society has a role to play in order to achieve a secure society. We urge citizens and indigents to adhere and respect the laws of the state, report irregular activities to the authorities, and we implore security agencies to carry out their duties as stipulated by the Constitution and not infringe on the rights of citizens. If we work together, we can build the Nigeria of our dreams. This message is brought to you by Today95.1 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
This president's failed.
It's about the future of this country.
We're going to take it back. We're going to take it back.
You asked us to vote you into that position so you can bring about that
solution.
So when you vote me, then you sleep.
Let me see if I can take another phone call. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
What makes a policeman to be able to feed is the gun he's holding. They use their gun to extort money from people.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
No longer news that we are truly the voice of the people.
Am I not a slave in Nigeria?
I refuse if you are.
You're a slave. Let's not get to that now. So the Nigerian Constitution. Proud is philosophical.
Every day on Today 95.1 FM, there's always an opportunity to comment and air your views on our various programs. It's not just about us, it's about you, your opinion, and your voice.
President, don't you think that it's time to step down, sir?
Be part of the story, the gist, reactions, intrigues, and the news.
President Neil Patrick Harris has called for greater regulation.
Give us a feedback or join the conversation on Twitter at TodayFM951. Our Facebook address is Today95.1 FM, or join us on the number 0701-933-9962. That's our WhatsApp application. Be informed, be educated, and have fun. We are Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Oh, Oremi Laide. Ní Bọ́lọ́dà lọ́jọ́ Sátidé yìí. Wọ́n ṣe pàtí ní òwò. Lókè súná lẹ́ńkọ́lé àwọn láti. Káládà kòstúmù láwọ̀ kò ṣe la fi gbọ́yàn sókè. But I meet you ready. Kalada, costume lawa, kose la fig bon soki. But I meet you ready. Oh, we're happy people, and that's who we are. We're having fun with the children of the sun. Whoa. We're happy people, and that's who we are. We don't care, we're the children of the sun. Sunday. One way I want you. Look at the boy, like really I want to eat. Canada, costume lawa, kose la fi bono soki. But I meet you ready. La figure non so che, but I meet you ready.